following is a presentation of ESPN on ABC.
Welcome to ABC College Football, presented by Kay Jewelers. We are at Chili Jack Trice Stadium in Ames, Iowa. Number 15, Oklahoma State, paying a visit to number 21, Iowa State. The matchup for the Big 12 title game is still anyone's guess. The top 5 teams in the standings each have a scenario where they would play for the championship. The Cowboys superstars were on top of their respective games for Bedlam last week. Mason Rudolph, a school record passing against OU. James Washington, as usual, his favorite target with 128 yards through the air. And Justice Hill with 228 rushing yards, another school record for Bedlam. But even 52 points wasn't good enough against 5th-ranked Oklahoma. Good afternoon, everybody. Mike Patrick, Tommy Tuberville. It's great to have you with us. Paul Carcaterra will join us shortly. The road back for Oklahoma State after that disappointing loss against Oklahoma is to come to Ames, Iowa, score a boatload of points, and hope it's enough.
Hardest thing in football, Mike, is to lose your in-state rival and then go on the road the next week against a very good football team. Oklahoma State has got to come out of the chute today early. If they don't, they're going to get behind and won't be able to catch up.
Iowa State wants to shorten this ball game. That means running the ball, and they can do that.
Yeah, they can run the ball, too. Their offensive line's got to hold their blocks a little bit longer, but I tell you, the Montgomery can really play, but they're off at the end of the day will have to throw the ball to win.
The last time the Cyclones took the field here in Ames, they knocked off the 4th-ranked team in the country, TCU. Can they make the number 15 Cowboys a victim on Senior Day? Kickoff after this message and a word from our ABC stations. It is a cold, breezy day in Ames, Iowa, but a lot of pageantry because it is Senior Day. And, of course, in Iowa, you want to have all the good eats. Oklahoma State deferred after winning the toss. Landon Akers on the return for the Cyclones. Breaks a couple of tackles out to the 27-yard line. Kyle Kempt out of Massillon, Ohio, where he was Washington High School's valedictorian. Started at Oregon State, did not play. Then transferred to Hutchinson Community College in Kansas. Did not play. Walks on at Iowa State. Did not play until the middle of this year when the starting quarterback left for personal medical reasons, and this young man knocked off Oklahoma in his first start and then TCU. 4-1 as the starter. They start with 4 wide receivers. Montgomery in motion. Averaging more than 92 yards a game on the ground, and Montgomery will get maybe a yard before he is dragged down by Darian Daniels. This is a big defensive front 4. Second, call it 9 for Kemp. Pressure coming. It's a screen. Lazard. And Lazard dives ahead, and he is one of the impact players when Iowa State has the ball. Holds most of the Cyclones' receiving records, including the most catches ever in 44 straight games with a reception. And can that Oklahoma State defense be an impact player today? They're only 116th in the country against the pass. 3rd down, 2. And it looked like the Cowboys jump. Free play for Kemp. He'll take off and slides right at the sticks. Osborne, number 91, came across early.
Looked like a freeze play, Mike, trying to draw him offside. Long count. Osborne couldn't hold his water. I tell you, it was an excellent opportunity to get the ball deep down the field on that play, but they didn't pull the trigger.
Defense, number 91, 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Tommy, these are the little things Iowa State does so well and gives them a chance to win.
And Oklahoma State just does the opposite. They make a lot of mistakes and penalties, turning the ball over. That could be the factor today. Mike
Gundy, the lifer for Oklahoma State, quarterback, assistant coach, and now head coach. He's been there since 1986. Kemp hands off to Montgomery, who's averaging 92.3 yards a carry.
Oklahoma State started out in the 4-man front. They're going to stay with it. They know they have to stop the run early in the game. Force Kemp to throw the football. They're playing zone in the secondary. No man at all so far. They're trying to stop the run first.
And when West Virginia forced him to throw it last week, he was quite successful. Montgomery goes in motion. Empty backfield for Kemp. Good protection against a 4-man rush and a perfect strike to Lazard. That's 45 straight games that Lazard has at least had one catch.
Here they put David Montgomery in motion. No backs in the backfield. They put a linebacker on Lazard. Easy throw and catch.
Kemp again over the middle. Montgomery. Couple of nice cuts knocked down at the Oklahoma State 42 by A.J. Green. Now they're going to go tempo.
Oklahoma State's playing soft in the secondary. They're going to give them that underneath throw.
Montgomery never got back to the line of scrimmage. Cole Walterscheid was right on top of it.
Way too much penetration there by Oklahoma State for the offensive line of Iowa State. If they let that happen today, the ball's going to have to go wide for Montgomery. He's got to be able to get inside yards, to keep that pass rush slowed down.
3rd and 5, still not in field goal territory. They've converted only 38% of their third downs this year. 4-man front. Kemp throws underneath and dropped. That would have been a first down. Hakeem Butler could not hold it. And there is a flag down on the play back near the line of scrimmage.
Almost intercepted that time on the tip by Ramon Richards in safety, but they're playing way too far off. They're giving too much cushion on the underneath pass.
After the play was over, personal foul, defense number 1, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Calvin Bundage commits the big mistake. 2 penalties early against the Cowboys, and that moves Iowa State down to the 24-yard line.
Bottom right, they're just tangled up on the block and getting off the block. He slaps him upside the head. That's
silly.
That's not the way to start on the road if you're Oklahoma State.
1st and 10, really good opening drive for the Cyclones. Kemp is really good beyond his experience at looking off receivers and then going back to the other side. Montgomery, 13 yards before he's finally taken down by Traylon Weber.
Just a power play. Off tackle. Again, they can't run the ball inside. Montgomery is a good inside runner, but there's been nothing there. But they got a good job out of the backside guard pulling up in the hole on the power play to the right.
Oklahoma State 78th in total defense, 79th scoring defense, giving up almost 29 points a game. So Iowa State substitutes so Oklahoma State can too. First and 10 from the 17-yard line. Fake to Montgomery. Kemp will keep and gets about 3 yards before he's chased out of bounds.
That's what you got to do if you're the defensive line for Oklahoma State. You've got to force Kemp out of the pocket. He's not that fast. Make him throw the ball on the run. He's much more accurate in the pocket, so get him out of the pocket.
A mark it just inside the 15, so it's 2nd and 8. Drive has already lasted over 4 minutes. Montgomery, not much there. And he fights forward for a couple before Justin Phillips, the 3rd leading tackler on this ball club, cut him down.
Iowa State is trying to get them to move in the linebacker with all their motion. And Akeem Butler that time went in motion to try to get a linebacker out of the box so they could run the ball. Linebacker didn't go with him.
We hear a lot about eye discipline. And there's Matt Campbell, the 2nd-year head coach. 6 and 3 this year. They are bowl eligible and still in the fight for a conference championship. They're going to need some help here, but they've got the tiebreaker over Oklahoma and TCU. Pass for the end zone. Touchdown. It looked like Trey Flowers, the safety, turned his back, lost track of the ball and the guy he was covering, and Alan Lazard was right there for his 7th touchdown catch.
Just a back shoulder pass. He just underthrew it. I think it was just an underthrown pass. He was trying to get the ball over the top. The defensive back just way overplayed it.
Can't tell you how much everybody admires Kyle Kemp. He has had a magnificent attitude throughout his career in spite of all the frustrations he has faced. Garrett Owens is on for the point after. He has not missed a point after this year and barely snuck that one in. There is a flag down, however.
Offside. Defense number 4. That penalty's declined. The try is good.
4 minutes and 58 seconds. 73 yards and 11 plays capped by that touchdown pass. Early first quarter, it's 7-0 Iowa State over Oklahoma State. He's a good baby.
He's ready.
And so are they on senior day, and a great start for the Cyclones. L.D. Brown is deep for the kickoff by Chris Francis. And Francis now has 30 touchbacks and 46 kickoffs. He's been a weapon. As a starting quarterback, Mason Rudolph has more wins than any other passer in school history. He holds 32 Cowboy records. Last season threw for nearly 4,100 yards, 28 touchdowns, only 4 picks this season. Connected on 63% of his passes and more than 3,300 yards and 27 touchdowns. If he doesn't hold the record for quarterbacks, it's not worth having. Two backs. Justice Hill gets the carry off the left side. He'll pick up about 5. One other record that Mason Rudolph has, 29-8 as a starter. Who's number 2? Mike Gundy, his head coach. Had a great career as a player. Rudolph throws a screen pass to Dylan Stoner. Stoner taken down by Marcel Spears, is a really good tackler. 3rd down.
NASCAR offense could get you in trouble right here if you're the visiting team there, but they're almost getting these people off their seats here in Ames, Iowa. There needs to be more noise for 3rd down here for Iowa State.
Well, you want to get up and cheer so you don't freeze to death sitting. Wallace is in as an extra wide receiver, so is McCleskey. Only 1 second on the clock. They barely got to snap off because the referee held them. Rudolph, plenty of time to throw. He doesn't like to move around, likes to stay in the pocket. Throws for Stoner, but threw behind him. Rudolph had all day.
3-man rush, 8-man drop. And you're going to have all day when you do that. They got nothing out of the nose guard right here. He just scrambled to his left. They want to make him get out of the pocket. Good pass rush there by Jaquan Bailey, but he's got all day to throw it. Good throw, bad catch.
Signer to punt. He's averaging 42 yards a kick. And Trevor Ryan, who's in the top 12 in the country in returns, is deep. Doesn't have an opportunity this time. Pretty good field position for Iowa State. They'll have it at their own 36, already leading 7-0 at home.
College football on ABC is presented by Kay Jewelers. Kay Jewelers, every kiss begins with K. And in part by Ford, going further so you can.
Some of our great military veterans around the globe showing their Oklahoma State and Iowa State colors. Thank you for everything that you do on this Veterans Day. One of the ROTC units here at Oklahoma State. Or excuse me, at Iowa State. Joel Lanning has checked in at quarterback. So beaten up last week. He did not play on offense, did not practice. This is the young man who plays offense, defense, and special teams. Not just a runner, although that's what he is best at, but he can throw the ball as well.
Started last year for Iowa State at quarterback.
It's a high snap will keep, and they're ready for it as he got back near the line of scrimmage. Let's go to Paul Carcaterra.
Mike, quarterbacks are not supposed to be middle linebackers, but don't tell Joel Lanning that. He hasn't played linebacker since middle school. But his experiences as a quarterback, his first 3 years at Ames, have given him opportunities mentally to play both sides of the field. He told me this to the seams in the trenches, regardless of what side of the ball you are on. He's 9th in the country in tackles per game, which is amazing stuff. But today, we'll see him on offense, defense, and special teams. It's the return of Joel Lanning, the Iron Man. Last week, he was a little nicked up.
This play whistled dead, and his head coach Matt Campbell said he told him when he switched him to linebacker, he said, as an offensive player, you run to daylight. As a defensive player,
offense number 51, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
As a defensive player, you also run to daylight. You're just hitting someone instead of getting hit.
And he said he's been all beat up all year. You're not used to getting hit every play if you're a quarterback. But if you're a linebacker, you make contact with somebody every snap. It takes a while to get used to.
He has an NFL future. If somebody will take a chance, maybe put him on the development squad. He probably is not a draft pick, although if he had some more experience in college as a middle linebacker, he probably would be. This one is complete to Lazard, who's having a big first quarter. Let's go to Clark.
Really enjoyed my time with Joel Lanning yesterday. And Tubbs, you mentioned acclimating to a new position. The toughest thing was camp. This was a kid who had a green jersey on that you couldn't touch for his first 3 years at Ames. Now he's playing middle linebacker. It's like he's getting into car accidents every day. Getting out of bed, not easy.
That's why he didn't come in short yardage situations last week against West Virginia. It really hurt them. This will be enough for another first down out to the 47-yard line. Hakeem Butler makes the catch.
I don't understand what Oklahoma State's doing in the secondary. They played man the last time, tried to bunch them up, tried to make a short throw. They still made the throw. Then they played real loose in the secondary, gave them an easy 5-yard pass for a first down. They've got to start applying pressure, or they're just going to march down the field like they did on the first drive.
Sheldon Croney, number 25, checks in for Oklahoma State. He's the deep man beside Kyle Kempt. Nice tough run by Croney, and Chad Whitener knocked him down. Paul Carcaterra caught up with the superstar three-way player yesterday.
When you think about it, though, like going from quarterback
to middle linebacker. Just the nuances of the position. It's really madness when you really break it down. How in the world are you doing this?
Honestly, because of like the quarterback part of what I did, you know, for 4 years, going from quarterback of the offense to quarterback of the defense, you know, just the mentality, you know, the mental parts of it. You know, I'm on the defensive side, I'm setting fronts and things like that. And offensively, you know, I had to take care of the linemen. You know, I had to know what everyone was doing. So I'm in the same position as I was on the offensive side.
Chase Allen, the redshirt freshman tight end, had a chance to get another first down. Couldn't hold that pass from Kemp, who has been really on target since this ball game started. Now it's 3rd and 8.
Kemp's been very good against zone coverage this year, Mike. They're playing zone, and he's just picking them apart. That was an awkward throw right there, but Oklahoma State's got to get in some kind of man coverage, maybe a little bit of pressure. They don't have to full blitz, but you got to play tighter on the receivers.
3rd and 8 for Kemp from midfield. Come with a blitz. Kemp throws and a perfect strike to Butler, and it's a first down. Kemp just hangs in there. Guy in his 5th year who never had the chance to play anywhere until the starting quarterback walks away from the game here.
Zone blitz. Hakeem Butler's wide open. The defensive back fell down.
Inside the 30. Quickly out to the flat. That's complete to Matthew Eaton.
It's like taking candy from a baby here. They better move their corners up, or this thing's getting ready to be 14-0 real quick.
Kemp is 8 out of 10 in the initial quarter, 84 yards, 1 touchdown. He understands what he can do as a passer. He obviously has a tremendous grasp on the offense. Montgomery, nowhere to go, then cuts it back outside. What a move by Montgomery. Inside the 15, 10-5 touchdown. Are you kidding? You can't miss tackles on a kid like Montgomery. He'll make you pay.
It's a great job of cutting this back. They did a good job at the point of attack, Oklahoma State, with their defensive tackles. But everybody else forgot to run to the football. It's about 11 people running to the ball to tackle David Montgomery. He made them look bad on that one, and they looked like playing Oklahoma last week.
He's already eclipsed his production in this game a year ago. 2 drives by this offense, 122 yards. And 3 offensive plays for Oklahoma State in this first quarter. Another flag is down as the extra point is good by Garrett Owens.
This is another offside by Oklahoma State. That's their 4th penalty, and we've just gotten started. I mean, they did not come to play this first half. They better get adjusted on the sideline. This thing could get bad quick.
Defense number 89. Penalties declined. The try is good.
What a start for David Montgomery and Iowa State. 14-0 over number 15. Welcome back to Iowa State. Taco Bell, proud partner of the college football playoff. Be on the lookout for Taco Bell student sections and passionate fans like these at games all season long. Somebody want to tell that guy the wind chill's 34 degrees? Brown from the 1. Oklahoma State needs something good to happen, and they need that to happen early. Let's go to Cassidy Hubbarth.
Thanks, Mike. AT&T Field Pass. Michigan State, Ohio State. The 2 teams tied atop the Big Ten East, and it's the Buckeyes who strike first. Mike Weber finds a seaman. He's gone. 47-yard touchdown. Ohio State up early, 7-0. Mike, Tommy, back to you.
I think a lot of people, Cassidy, were wondering if they could respond after that beatdown against Iowa a week ago. This would put them back on top in the East, with Wisconsin undefeated waiting in the West.
Well, we're in Big 12 football, Mike. And every offense in this league can score very quickly. So let's see what Oklahoma State can do now.
From the 27, Rudolph gives to Justice Hill. And Iowa State, you said every team in this conference can score, but Iowa State can actually stop some people.
Yeah, there's only about 3 teams that try to stop people on Saturdays.
First quarter this year, Oklahoma State has dominated people. Not this afternoon. Mike Gundy knows he's got a lot of time, though, and they can score in a heartbeat. Hill again takes it outside. This is going to leave them with 3rd and 4 or 5.
Oklahoma State just needs a first down. They don't need points. They need to adjust on the sideline on defense, and they need time to do that. And you can't adjust going 3 and out every time on offense.
This is only the 6th play they have run from scrimmage. And the Iowa State fans, every possession getting into it more and more. 3-man front. Get a little pressure this time, but the pass underneath to Tylan Wallace. And he's got a first down. 2 flags are down on the play.
This could be a big call right here for Oklahoma State.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 2, 15 yards added to the end of the run, first down.
Willie Harvey, the weak side linebacker.
Just a drag route across the middle of the field.
Yeah,
that's just an unfortunate play right there. Just grab what you can.
First time in Iowa State territory today for the Cowboys. Hill cuts it off the left side, drags a man with him for a first down. Free ride for Kamari Cotton-Moya.
That was a good job there on the power play, and you can tell how fast he hits the hole. It doesn't take much for him to go 40 or 50 yards real quick.
And he's strong at 185 pounds, Coach. Number 1 in the conference, more than 118 yards a game rushing. Pass complete, but Willie Harvey is right there on Jalen McCleskey, whose dad, JJ, played in the league a long, long time.
That play right there can look so good, but so bad. You know, if you don't get a block by the wide receiver, and that time they did not block Willie Harvey.
They show 4 in the box this time. Hill breaks a tackle. Finally cut down by Spears, but it's another first down.
Watch the power play. The backside tackle pulls, kicks out. Look how fast he hits the hole. I tell you, if Marcel Spears did not make that play, the safety's not going to catch him, and they'll keep running that play till he breaks into the secondary.
Nice tackle, or nice block rather, by Zachary Crabtree, who opened that hole on the left side. Here's Crabtree, 6'7", 310, and he can run.
You know, they say this is one of the better offensive lines Oklahoma State has had. They're very physical, but again, all day long they work on pass protection because that's their forte, and that's the reason it's so hard to get a 1,000-yard rusher from a passing team with a pass-setting offensive line.
Clark, what do you have down there?
Well, pregame, Mike, I was talking to Zach Crabtree. He was so meticulous with his steps. He told me against this defensive line, they are so fundamentally sound and smooth in their technique. Could not use sheer athleticism today. It's the combination of head and quickness for 60 and White.
1st and 10. Thanks, Clark. From the 24. Hill again. He'll pick up 3 yards this time. And Tommy, you mentioned earlier in the week when we were talking, with a school like Iowa State, technique is critical.
Yeah, you're not big and fast at the defensive line position like some Power 5 teams, and so you have to get by with technique and you have to work it every day. I like J.D. Wagner, Ray Lima, and Vernell Trent. I tell you, they play technique, but they're a little undersized. That's the reason they're running the ball on them today.
2nd and 7. Oklahoma State trying to cut into this deficit. Rudolph has time, double pumps, throws for the end zone. Aitman, touchdown. 6'4", 220, and he goes up to get it. Beat DeAndre Payne in the back of the end zone.
That was all Mason Rudolph. He extends the play. He waits. He's going to throw the slant. Aikman breaks off his route, just goes to the end zone. This is kind of like backyard football. DeAndre Payne just got out jumped, but that was an excellent throw back of the end zone by Mason Rudolph.
Really a tough break for Payne as he lost his footing and went down. Left Aitman open, and that's all he needs. So Oklahoma State cuts into this lead with the extra point from Amendola. They will have it.
And it didn't take long.
No, it didn't. One of the hallmarks of that offense. 14-7. Still a minute 31 to go, first quarter. From Iowa State on Senior Day.
I got loyalty.
Those were the days, huh, Coach?
Yeah, they were. There were some games, and there was a lot of tension, whether you played in the old Orange Bowl or in Notre Dame, South Bend.
Landon Akers is deep, and this kick will go out of bounds. That'll give Iowa State great field position. And if you remember this, 1990 or 1988, look at Coach Tuberville.
I was holding my own. I'm telling you.
Yes, you were.
Yeah.
Well, you were egging them on, too.
Well, they were starting to come out of the stands. I was trying to keep everybody back into the stands. You know, that was my job. But that was an unbelievable start to a game. Going in after pregame, you had thought that it was going to be a lot of penalties. Even the officials at the end of the game said that was one of the best, well-played games they'd ever officiated.
That's great.
Both teams really fought hard with each other, helped each other off the ground. Unfortunately, we came up a little short.
Didn't happen very often.
No, that was a tough game.
And now they're saying the ball was touched by an Iowa State player. So when it went out of bounds, they'll get it all the way back at the 9.
Previous play of touching inbounds by the receiving team is under further review.
Well, I've seen it all now. If they touch the ball, basically, you can't go out of bounds and get it at the 35-yard line.
Ooh. Looked like he did.
Tymar
Sutton looked like he stuck his right hand out.
Again, it's got to be 100% from the replay official. Unless we've got a better look at that, I don't know whether you can definitely say that he touched the ball.
Call on the field was that he did. So they need overwhelming. Well, the ball seemed to change course, although that could have been the bounce it was taking. Hard to tell.
And the official in the end zone started the clock when he saw it touch his hand. You don't start the clock till it touches somebody on the field.
Good point.
But the official in the end zone started the clock. So
after review, the ruling on the field stands as called.
That is a heck of a call by the official, and an awful mistake by Iowa State that puts them in a bind at their own 9.
You tell your upbacks never to touch the ball, especially if it's on the ground. Let it go through. And he just made a mistake there and touched the ball and cost him about 20 yards.
Actually, it turns out to be a 26-yard mistake. They would have had it at the 35. But nothing seems to have bothered Kemp so far, has it? They're in the pistol. Montgomery is the deep man, and he'll get the carry. Cuts it to the outside. This time they were ready for him. And let's go to Kark.
You know, Mike, this is week 2. I've been up close and personal with David Montgomery. Watching his cutting ability is amazing. He's induced 50 missed or broken tackles this season. That's second in the FBS, only to Bryce Love. And I spoke to one of the ball boys before the game started. He said the stuff he does in practice is incredible. He can even throw the ball farther than anyone on this team, but his athleticism off the charts.
He was a high school quarterback. Nice catch there. And a stiff arm will get him out to around the 12-yard line.
That's a better job. Oklahoma State crowding the ball, not giving him the extra yards after contact. But what they're doing, Mike, on the inside, they're taking away the inside run with the 2 tackles and the 4-man front. They're forcing the ball to go outside. Oklahoma State has got to rally to the outside with their safeties and outside linebackers to stop David Montgomery.
3rd and 7. Looked like they wanted to blitz, then they back out of it. Montgomery on the screen doesn't get a block, doesn't matter. Montgomery fighting forward. What an effort by this kid, but he's going to be shy of the first down marker.
Does a great job of setting the screen up. Offensive lineman to the right side. Easy dump to David Montgomery.
Couple of phantom blocks, however. That's the end of the first quarter. We'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC stations. The College Football Playoff Show, the Top 25, presented by Northwestern Mutual. Crowd really filled in on a cold day in Ames, Iowa. Jack Trice Stadium seating 61,500, and there aren't too many empty seats. This team still has a chance to make the college or the Big 12 championship game. Downing with the punt and knocks it out of bounds. Boone Pickens wrote a letter to Mike Gundy this week. Obviously disappointed, but in the outcome, one of the greatest games he's ever watched, he says. Proud of you and the team. They have not always had that relationship, though, have they, Tom?
No, it's been on and off. And, of course, Boone Pickens is a huge contributor to the Cowboys, and he is very, very excited about every team at Oklahoma State. I've had a chance to meet him several times, and he's a big supporter of Mike Gundy, and that was great of him to do that, because when you lose an in-state rival game, you need support, because there's not a lot coming your way.
That's right. Big mistake by Iowa State in the kicking game. Only a 14-yard punt, and Oklahoma State sets up shop in Iowa State territory, and Justice Hill trying to take advantage of it. This kid runs hard.
A great job by the defense, just stringing it out, making the ball go wide. Defensive line is doing a good job again. Technique, use your hands. Make sure the things go outside. Don't let him run the ball inside, north and south. Defensive line did a very good job then. And then the linebackers scooted down the line of scrimmage, skating, using their hands, getting off blocks, making the play.
Gain of 4, so it's 2nd and 6. Iowa State showing blitz. Rudolph looks to the sideline. They come with 4, and Hill may have gotten caught up with Rudolph. His quarterback looked like they tripped each other.
Either that watch, it's just a simple draw play. He trips over Rudolph's foot. But again, they're used to playing 90% of their games on an artificial surface. This is natural grass here. It's a good surface, but it is slippery. A lot different than artificial turf.
3rd and 8 now. Blitz coming. Rudolph has time, throws complete down to the 12-yard line. What a catch by Tylan Wallace. Gain of 18. And even with the blitz, they didn't put pressure on.
Yeah, Brian Peavy on the coverage. It's actually good coverage. Excellent throw by Mason Rudolph. That's how you complete an outside route. Throw it where nobody can catch it but the receiver.
First down from the 12. Rudolph gives it off to Tyron Johnson, who is a sophomore out of New Orleans, who they think has a brilliant future here.
I like what Oklahoma State's doing. They're staying patient. Staying patient. They get behind 14-0, and they continue to run the football. Try to control the line of scrimmage. Again, 3-man front. You want to run the ball more than you throw it.
2nd and 7. Washington, their top receivers in the ballgame, out to the right. Hill, nice cut, touchdown. This guy runs over people and runs away from people.
What acceleration. I mean, that's what you got to have. There was nothing there. They did a great job of forcing the ball outside. Never let a running back go north and south. Watch this. Force the ball outside. Seenbacher makes a block, 41. He just outruns the DBs. They forced it out wide. The outside linebacker was nowhere to be found. He got caught up by a wide receiver inside.
After a terribly slow start, Oklahoma State has scored 2 touchdowns in 3 minutes and 53 seconds.
Big 12 football at its best right here.
Amendola for the point after. He has been perfect this year, 53 out of 53. And Justice Hill ties up this ball game. Welcome back to ABC's College Football, presented by K Jewelers as part of Veterans Week on ESPN, brought to you by USAA. World's largest concrete gnome. Not sure why, but
Elwood.
Somebody decided to build Landon Acres. A nice hole there briefly, got out to the 28-yard line, and this is the way it has gone the last 2 meetings. 2 years ago, the Cyclones had a 10-point lead after 3 quarters. Then the Cowboys came back for a pair of touchdowns in the 4th for the win. Last year was almost the same scenario. ISU had a 10-point lead after 3 quarters. OSU outscored them in the 4th. This time, 17 points for the win. Iowa State had a 14-0 lead in this game, and the Cyclones have not been able to hold it. Kemp, play fake, throws complete. Nice catch by Marchie Murdoch as we check in with Cassidy Hubbard.
Thanks, Mike. Jersey Mike's a performance above. Duke visiting 7-2 Army. Blue Devils punting here, and it's deflected. Javari Bordeaux picks it up and runs it in for the 25-yard score. They've since tacked down another one. Army up 21-3 on this Veterans Day. Mike, Tommy, back to you.
You know, I think when the service academies are successful, it makes college football better.
It's awesome. Awesome experience. I love watching all of them on TV. I'd like to go to the Army-Navy game once.
Yeah, they play so hard. Numbers on Kemp, he has been terrific. Montgomery picking his way and then carrying a tackler about a yard shy of the sticks. Monday Night Football with a big game for both teams this Monday. 4-4 Dolphins against the 6-3 Panthers. Monday Night Countdown kicks off our coverage at 6 Eastern on ESPN. Big play here, 3rd and 2. Iowa State's offense has stalled, and now they want to change the play.
Oklahoma State does not have anybody in the middle of the field deep. They break the line of scrimmage.
Boy, they're going to have to burn a timeout on 3rd and 2 with 11:01 to go.
College Football on ABC, presented by K Jewelers, is brought to you by Nissan. Innovation that excites. And Pacific Life. Experience the power of Pacific.
What you're looking at is something incredibly unique. Part of the Freedom Rock Tour started by Ray Bubba Sorensen II. His goal is to spread the message of thanking veterans while providing a unique Freedom Rock to all 99 counties in the great state of Iowa. We will feature more of his artwork throughout the broadcast. It's just magnificent.
Amazing.
And we thank him for doing it. 3rd and 2. Big play for both ball clubs. Pass a little bit behind Hakeem Butler. He had inside position, and I think Kempt would love to have that one back.
Raymond Richards inside, got his hand up. They saw this from the sideline, called it from the sideline. Good play by Raymond Richards, number 7. Got to lead him a little bit more, Kyle Kempt.
Matt Campbell knows they missed an opportunity to keep this drive alive. And now Downing, who had a poor punt the last time, was Stoner deep. Another poor kick. And to make it worse, it bounces backwards and goes out of bounds near the 40-yard line. We would like to introduce you to our lead video operator, Randy Mills, a member of our crew. His job is to make sure you have the very best vision our cameras could offer. A time in his life before joining us, he was Tech Sergeant Randy Mills of the U.S. Air Force Reserves. Served 11 years in the reserves. For that, we are honoring him on this weekend. And Bobby Joyner, who served in Vietnam, 1967, 1968. Thank you. Rudolph pressured, doesn't like to run, takes off and is drilled as he got to the 49-yard line.
4-man rush that time, and even had a little blitz from a linebacker. Joel Lanning came through free, just missed the tackle.
The book on Rudolph is if you can make him move, you've won. But not that time.
It's hard to make him move with a 3-man rush. They're going to have to bring linebackers at least every other time. Give them a chance to get a little pressure.
2nd and 3. Justice Hill. Power. Look at this kid go. Then he turns on the burners. Justice Hill down the sideline, cuts back and got to the 1-yard line. What a run. Johnny Wilson and Zach Crabtree were out in front throwing big blocks, and then Justice Hill out of Tulsa did the rest.
As he hits the line of scrimmage, watch the burst of speed right here, and he just breaks tackles. Just poor tackling in the secondary and linebackers. Then he outruns everybody. Brian Peavy does a good job of trying to catch him. I tell you, this kid can really fly an open field, and when you hit him, he is at full speed. You have got to lock up.
He was the #1 FBS freshman running back a year ago.
Play is under further review.
1,142 yards is what he gained, and he is approaching that mark right now. They are going to review whether it is a touchdown play or not. It looked like he was short at first blush. 10 carries, 95 yards, and a score today. So he is up to 1,059. May have stepped out is the word.
As he sees the guy coming across the field, he might have put his foot right there on the line.
Nope.
It's close. No, it's close. Good job of cutting him off.
There's no way they're going to overturn this based on that. You can see green between his foot and the sideline. So this shouldn't take very long.
Great camera angle right there. It won't take long. But again, that was all done by Justice Hill, hitting the line of scrimmage fast. And again,
after review, the runner's knee was not down and he did not step out of bounds. The ruling on the field is confirmed. First down.
Going back to the defense, Mike, 3-man front allows Justice Hill exactly what he wants to get his shoulder square at line of scrimmage and then burst. The next guy there is a linebacker. He's getting the corner too quick. They're going to have to either bring a linebacker, bring a corner from the boundary, or go to a 4-man front just to slow him down.
So Oklahoma State, after falling behind 14-0, has a chance to take the lead here with over 9.5 minutes to go in the first half. And J.D. King, 205-pound freshman, stopped by Jaquan Bailey.
Bailey did a good job of keeping his shoulder square on the line of scrimmage and don't back in the end zone. Explode. Don't go to your knees. When you go to your knees on a tackle, you lose your power. Jaquan Bailey that time bent his knees and he used his legs, his power to knock him back.
260 pounds against 205. Now they've got two tight ends in the game. Second and goal. And they stop him again, this time for a loss of a yard for J.D. King.
This is where both teams excel on defense, is in the red zone, because they're not an attacking offensive line. They don't get any push. They're soft. They're finesse. And they get manhandled by the defensive line on the goal line. Both teams. And usually most teams in the Big 12. That's a good job again. 2 plays in a row by Iowa State. This ball will be put in the air here.
Look out for Aitman at 6'4", 220. Just a huge target, and Iowa State will call time. It's first of the first half. There are 5 teams still in the running to make the Big 12 championship game. And remember, Iowa State has already beaten TCU and Oklahoma, so they would have the tiebreaker if they end up with 2 losses. And, of course, TCU and Oklahoma play each other, so one of them, more than likely, is going to have a second loss, barring the almost miracle of the tie.
Iowa State can pretty much control their own destiny if they win here today. And they have a couple of games left, but they'll be favored in both of those. Both are on the road. But again, they have to win this game today. This is a big play right here on 3rd down and goal from the 2-yard line.
I guess with overtime, a tie is more than a miracle.
You know, I was going to ask you about, have you ever heard of overtime?
Well, I said it would almost be a miracle.
Now, you do NFL games. NFL, they might end up tying even after overtime. So we're going to give you a little leeway there on that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Not the first mistake I ever made.
I think you got to throw the ball here. You got to throw it on the outside, probably down at the bottom to Marcel Aitman. Iowa State has shorter defensive backs.
DeAndre Payne is covering him, bottom of your screen.
Timeout. Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State sees the defense. They decide they're going to take a timeout and talk about this. While we have a chance, let's take a look at this week's college football playoff rankings, brought to you by Goodyear. Alabama's still number 2, right?
That's the way you like it. You get to vote on this, right?
No. No, but I would make Alabama number 1 if I had a vote. Georgia, Alabama, Notre Dame, and Clemson. And after Washington lost to Stanford last night, you have to assume that the Pac-12 is gone. A 2-loss champion in this league would have no chance.
The big games are Miami, Notre Dame tonight, and this afternoon, Georgia playing at Auburn. I've coached 10 times in that Georgia-Auburn game, and that is a slobber knocker. They will get after it on the plains this afternoon.
TCU, Oklahoma, the big game in the Big 12 outside of this one. 3rd and goal. Same formation offensively with Aitman to the near side. Full house backfield. They'll try to run with Hill. And Hill's second effort got in the end zone. He was stopped at the 2. And even at 185 pounds, he just tore away from the tackle. Lima and Wilkerson had him.
Well, what you see here is they have nobody coming from the outside. And their outside linebacker is out there too wide. He can't make the play. Reggie Wilkerson can't get there in time. And on the 2-yard line, you've got to play a little bit tighter. They were thinking slant from the outside receiver. And that's the reason he had loosened up to take away the slant route from the outside.
That's a pretty good play call, isn't it, Coach?
Yeah, pretty good play call. They called that from the line of scrimmage. And you know, it's fun to watch execution when you get it from the press box.
Amendola for the point after, and that really quieted this crowd. which was celebrating on Senior Day after a 14-0 lead, but Justice Hill has turned that around. We talked about Justice Hill's power. Watch this. And there's a reason. It's this. He's 185 pounds. Look at this. 565-pound squat.
And he's a 19-year-old sophomore. Think about that. He's around a couple more years.
Future. Iowa State needs something good right now. Akers. Whoa. He was just drilled by Kirk Tucker on special teams. What a shot.
I'm not so sure Kirk Tucker saw him. As fast as he's coming down the field, he's looking, maybe this guy might be the blocker.
Oh. Good grief. And he went right by a blocker to deliver that shot. Iowa State takes over at its own 26. And they get the offense back and around. Ryan will get out to the 32-yard line. Rodarius Williams, the redshirt freshman corner, made the stop.
Good pursuit angle by Williams. Just trying to slow the front down and the linebackers. He stayed at home. That's how you stop a reverse. That's not too bad, especially the way it looked when they first started. It could have been a big play.
Ball start. Offense, number 67. 5-yard penalty, second down.
A rare penalty against Iowa State, the fourth least penalized teams in the country. Now for our Aflac trivia question. Thank you. When was the last time that Iowa State won a football conference title? You're going to have some age on you to remember this one.
Yeah, that counts me out.
Good job by Kemp to keep the play alive, but Montgomery couldn't pull in the high throw to the sideline.
That's a play that you have to have right there when you have nobody down the field. They dropped to 8. You've got to drop it to the running back, and Montgomery's made big play after big play this year with that play. Let's see if this is a backwards pass as he scrambles up in the line of scrimmage. It's a little bit forward. Just got to put a little bit less on the ball. Too much heat.
Another big third down for Iowa State. They can ill afford to give the ball right back to the Cowboys. Pressure on Kemp. Good job by Gerald Owens, number 93. Pressure from the left side.
Sean Foster last week had the same problem. 75 right tackle. He just gets outrun. He turns his shoulders too quick. He quits moving his feet. You got to move your feet. That's a three-man rush. You give up a sack on a three-man rush, it's going to be a long day.
Last two punts for Colin Downing have been a nightmare. Dylan Stoner is deep, averaging 19.5 on 2 punts. And that looked like it touched Oklahoma State. Recovered by Iowa State, but I think he was out of bounds touching the ball before Iowa State got it. There is another flag down.
That's going to be pretty close. It did hit him, though, but did he go out of bounds with the ball, or did he just knock it back in bounds and Iowa State recovered? They did recover the ball. So if it doesn't go out of bounds, it will be Iowa State's ball around the 35-yard line.
Be a huge break, obviously.
It's got to be a return penalty on Oklahoma State, probably holding.
Officials trying to sort this out.
You think they're cold down there?
I would think.
Look at the dress they've got on. They're trying to stay warm.
Ruling on the field is that the ball was touched by the receiving team, but it was not recovered inbounds by the kicking team. It'll stay with the receiving team. First down, Oklahoma State. We also have illegal formation, number 35 of the kicking team. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the kick. First down.
If the ball touches a player who is out of bounds, the ball is out of bounds. And that looks like what happened.
Yeah, you can see right here. You've got to be getting communication from number 17 right there. He's got to be hollering, get out of the way. Dylan Stoner's got to communicate with the guy trying to block number 1, but he gets hit. No communication. But you can negate all that because it was illegal procedure. If Iowa State gets the ball, it makes no difference. They go back and make them repunt it anyway.
So the upshoot of it, it is Oklahoma State's ball to 41-yard line, and they have, in the last 3 drives, simply been unstoppable on offense. Iowa State showing some pressure. And they come with a 5-man rush, and it's beaten by Aikman on the perfect throw from Mason Rudolph.
Now they've got the play-action pass going. They've got the run going, and now when you get the run going, you get the linebackers playing the run first. They fake it, throw over the inside, easy throw and catch by Aikman.
Rudolph holds 32 school passing records. And he's going for his 30th win as a starter today. Little touch to Justice Hill. Justice Hill gets rid of the ball to Washington. May have outsmarted themselves on that one. Let's go to Cart.
Yeah, James Washington there on the reverse. Haven't seen much of him today. Comes in leading the FBS with 125 yards per game. But the deep ball, I've been watching him. He got hurt in Bedlam last week. He had a boot on his foot all week until Wednesday, practice Thursday. But we have not seen 28 and White go deep once this game, and his 19 yards per catch, highest out of any active FBS player.
Rudolph, that pass is tipped and incomplete. Good defensive pressure by Iowa State. And Clark, the one thing about Washington, they diagnosed his injury as a high ankle sprain. That can be troubling for a long, long time.
Trying to get the short pass to Stoner over the middle. It takes too long to get there. Again, they got a little bit more pressure out of their 3-man rush at that time.
Now 3rd and 16. One of the few times Oklahoma State has had a long yard situation on 3rd down. 4-man rush. They don't get there. The pass thrown underneath. And it's caught by Dylan Stoner. It'll be well shy of a first down.
That's how the 3-man rush, 8-man drop is designed. Make them throw it underneath. No way you can get 3rd and 16 unless you throw over the top. And it's hard to get it over the top with this kind of defense.
And Mike Gundy decides to kick it away on 4th and 9. Signer comes on. Lazard is deep, waiting back at the 10. He'll let it go, and Oklahoma State almost saved it. Not quite. The ball bounced off the hands of Landon Wolf at the goal line. Now for the answer to our Aflac trivia question, which was the last time Iowa State won a football conference title? 1912, when they were Iowa Agricultural College, and the conference was the Missouri Valley Intercollegiate Athletic Association. They were the co-champion, in fact. They were 2-0 along with Nebraska. Their head coach, the legendary Clyde Williams, who was also the baseball and basketball coach, plus the athletic director. And he's in Iowa State's Hall of Fame.
I was looking for Steve Turnberger, our director, in that picture. He just wasn't quite there.
Iowa State trying to get something going again offensively. Hakeem Butler. He is brought down at the 21-yard line. Kempt with another complete short pass.
I think Kemp's going to have to start going over the top a little bit. They're crowding the line of scrimmage now. Oklahoma State's made a good adjustment to their short passing game. They've got to take one deep just to loosen them up just a little bit.
Just in front of his intended receiver. That's incomplete. Deshaunte Jones was out in the flat. Kempt led him about a half step too far. Not nearly as sharp as they were early, Tommy.
No, they're not. They're just not executing. And again, Deshaunte Jones has got to turn it up going toward the line of scrimmage. He led him proper. Deshaunte Jones has got to turn his shoulders, get up the field on that catch.
3rd and 9, and the last thing Iowa State wants to do is turn it right back to Oklahoma State, considering the state of their punting game. You would think Oklahoma State would come out with good field position again. 4-man rush. Kempt with time. Throws underneath. That ball's knocked down at the last moment by Trey Flowers, who made the mistake early. That time a really good play. Kempt only 2 of his last 6 after the hot 10 of 12 start, and only 6 yards.
He's had a couple of drops, but again, if you have to give credit to Oklahoma State, they've made adjustment. That time they went to man coverage, taking the short pass away. They're going to have to throw the ball deep to loosen them up.
3 straight 3-and-outs. Another short kick. This one will die at the 42-yard line. ESPN's next top-ranked boxing event comes to you tonight from Fresno, California. You can catch a pair of main events at 10:30 Eastern. Then after boxing, Sports Center. Kirk Herbstreit will break down Showdown Saturday. Linda Cohn and Stan Verrett will have the Heisman race with Baker Mayfield on their minds, plus a recap of the Sixers-Warriors. And tonight, boxing Sports Center, as well as streaming live on the ESPN app.
Boxing's making a comeback. A lot of good matches lately.
See what Rudolph can do. Plenty of time left. 4:24. Hill. Well, he doesn't go backwards. Everything is forward.
It's all about speed. You know, he turns his speed on very quickly, and he gets his shoulders down, plays low. Linebackers and DBs just bounce off of him. And again, they're not giving him the inside run with a 3-man front. They're making him go into the outside. He's already over 100 yards.
And that's at 8.4 yards a carry. Hill again. Drop off the right side. He'll pick up another 4. Flag down, however.
Second most productive offense in the country, Oklahoma State. But I tell you what, they are living and dying off their running game today. They can throw the ball, and that's going to make them a better team as they go down this stretch.
Illegal block below the waist. Offense number 1. 15 yards from the previous spot. Replay 2nd down.
It's Jalen McCleskey, the junior wide receiver. And that will back them up. They always seem to have a bunch of good wide receivers.
They really do. They hadn't missed James Washington today at all. But there's a good block on the outside.
That's a dangerous block against Marcel Spears. So it's 2nd down and 21. 4-man rush coming with a swing. Hill belted out of bounds at the Iowa State sideline. McCleskey and Stoner were out there blocking for him. Good tackle by Willie Harvey.
Speaking of Iron Man, this kid is running the ball, catching ball out of the backfield, pass protecting. He is something else. Now they're going to give him a little bit of a break. They got to throw the ball down the field with 3rd and 14.
.309 to go in the half. Oklahoma State has come from 14 down to take a 7-point lead. They rush 3 on Rudolph. Now here comes a 4th, and they got it. Nice effort, Jaquan Bailey, number 19, 4.5 sacks on the year, and Joel Lanning, number 7, the middle linebacker, 9th in the country in tackles. He came late, and Rudolph didn't have a chance.
Rudolph's not a scrambler, so he's got to throw it in the pocket. It just collapsed on him right here. A good protection. You got to get rid of the football. You know, if you take a guy like Baker Mayfield, that's what makes him special. He can get out of the pocket and continue to extend the play.
Signer to punt to Ryan. Backs him up to the 15. Ryan trying to get to the sideline. There's going to be a couple of penalties on this as Ryan takes it all the way out to the 27. 50-yard punt return of 12. Now we'll check the markers. Look like a couple of blocks in the back and maybe a hold as well.
I think they can just take their pick here.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 49 of the receiving team. Penalty will be half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. First down, Iowa State.
Sveen called for the block. This is one of the beautifully painted rocks in Lewis County, Iowa, honoring our veterans. It's really been a tale of 2 games. Early it was Iowa State taking a 14-0 lead and doing what they wanted to the Oklahoma State defense, but the Cowboys have responded. In the last 4 possessions, Iowa State has gotten nothing out of their offense. Period. Nothing. 17 yards.
David Montgomery has got to be back in the game plan. If not, it's going to be a long day for the Hawkeyes.
Montgomery got 10, and that should be a horse collar, and it is. Dragged down by A.J. Green.
Just kind of a lazy tackle by A.J. Green. You can't grab like he knows that. You've got to put your shoulder on him, run him out of bounds, bring your feet with you. Just a poor angle.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, defense number 7. 15 yards added to the end of the run. First down.
I'm sorry, that's Ramon Richards and not A.J. Green.
David Montgomery's got to get the ball in his hands. That is a typical new rule that we needed to put in for that one play right there. You can't horse collar. It's a dangerous tackle.
Zeb Nolan, the redshirt freshman quarterback, is in for Iowa State. He has only thrown 10 passes all year long. Make it 11. And completes that one. Perfect strike to Lazard, who has been invisible after those first 2 series. That's a gain of 15.
He didn't show up last week the first half either, Mike, against West Virginia. He has got to get back in the game. They got to get the ball on the outside and need to throw the ball deep.
Got a live arm. He's good throwing the ball downfield. Montgomery caught up in the backfield and then explodes forward. 121 and counting here, so they go tempo. Kept on the sideline, where he has actually spent the better part of his career in 5 years at 3 different schools. Nolan throws another strike. A perfect pass to Trevor Ryan, 22 yards, and obviously he has the stronger arm. Ball gets there in a hurry and spin it. Montgomery again cuts it to the outside. Back inside the 5. Julian Good-Jones, the center, with a heck of a block for him. That will stop the clock with 45 seconds left. A couple of really good running backs in this game.
Oklahoma State calling timeout.
Timeout. Oklahoma State. It's their third and final of the half. It'll be a full timeout of 60 seconds.
So Oklahoma State uses its last timeout on defense.
Great blocks right downfield. But again, it's all David Montgomery making people miss, going north and south. They had to get him back in this game along with Alan Lazard. Those are two of the best players on the field for Iowa State. They've got to start using them more.
Another sophomore running back. Each of these teams has highlighted a guy who could really get it done. Hill 101 yards today. Montgomery 73 yards. Between them, they're averaging 7.6 yards a carry.
Sometimes when you're a spread football team, Mike, like Oklahoma State, their defense relaxes a little bit. They came back from a 14-0 deficit. Then they take a 21-14 lead. It looks like they're taking this drive off. They're not running the ball. They're playing a little bit loose. And again, they know that David Montgomery is going to be involved. They've got to tackle him, and they've got to tackle him at the line of scrimmage, not downfield.
And how big would this be for Iowa State if they can score here at the end of the half? Kempt, 12 out of 18, 101 yards. Nolan comes off the bench, hits his 2 throws. And now Joel Lanning is in. This is the short yardage package we did not see last week against West Virginia because Lanning was just so physically exhausted from all the reps he's gotten, offense, defense, and special teams. Lanning will take off here. Powering forward near the goal line. Heck of a run by Joel Lanning.
You can tell here he's got a little bit of energy, a lot more energy than the other quarterback are running the ball. He leans forward. He uses his legs. You know, he had a shoulder injury. You know, they're taking a little bit of a chance here, but, they did not play very well last week in the red zone.
They stopped the clock with 29 seconds left to go in the half. They still have one more timeout, so they can do basically anything they want on 2nd and 3rd down.
I know they like Joel Lanning as a quarterback and running the ball, but it's hard to discount number 32.
Isn't it?
I'm telling you, on the goal line, at that point, at this point in the game, you've got to prove a point that you can run the ball and run the ball north and south, up the middle, and not sideways.
But look at Montgomery. He is just all full of enthusiasm for this, as was Matthew Eaton. Guys jumping around with a smile on their face. Today, 73 yards, held to 29 a year ago. They'll spot the ball at the 1. Lanning runs into his own man. Still driving. Iowa State says it's a touchdown, and it is.
Great extra effort by Lanning. I mean, it was unbelievable underneath the pile, but that's a new rule they put in that your own players can push you from behind. Used to, you couldn't do that, but players got behind him and pushed him over the goal line.
Heck of an effort by everybody.
Good movement up front by the offensive line. He keeps his legs moving. Look at the guys behind him pushing him. There he goes across the goal line.
Matt Campbell knows how big that is.
It's been a long time since they scored a point. That's been an hour and a half.
That's right. But they've got a chance to tie the ball game now with only seconds left in the half. And what a boost going into the locker room it would be for the Cyclones. It's a 91-yard drive in 7 plays.
The ruling on the field of a touchdown is under further review.
Tough to see with all the bodies in there where a knee might be down, where momentum might be stopped. Lanning's not going to quit.
Great penetration on the right side. They ran an unbalanced line. Actually put a tight end body in the game, but he had to go back to the weak side. Players behind him pushing him. They're looking at for his knees down here at the bottom. Does his knees touch? They call it a touchdown. It'll be hard to, out of that to take that back.
Yeah, good luck seeing anything in that mass.
Look like rugby. Look at his legs moving underneath. That's a great shot by our cameraman on the sideline.
Well, you just can't tell. Oklahoma State trying to tackle Lanning and strip the ball at the same time. And they're still looking.
Good luck.
Amen. I don't know how you can possibly determine one way or the other, but the ruling on the field was a touchdown.
I don't see how you can change it because you can't tell who's who.
After review, the ruling on the field of touchdown stands as called.
Not confirmed, but stands. That's what you announce when you can't determine what was going on, and they couldn't.
That's a huge boost right before halftime. They needed that. It's been a while since they have anything positive. That was a long drive aided by a 15-yard horse collar penalty.
And the arm of Zeb Nolan and then the running skill of Lanning. They're showing us everything they've got in this game after giving up 21 consecutive points to the Oklahoma State offense. And now we're tied at 21 with 22 seconds to go in the half. This game is so critical. Oklahoma State and Iowa State both in a position that if they lose a third game, it would take some really strange math to keep them in the chase for the conference championship game.
That's basically not going to happen.
Right. You know? And if Iowa State wins, remember they would have the tiebreaker over Oklahoma, TCU, and Oklahoma State.
What a year for Iowa State. If they could pull this one off, this would be one that would go in the record books for a long, long time. But they've got a lot of young players on the team, too. They've got a lot of young guys. Their recruiting is going well. Matt Campbell, again, is going to be sought after by many people, possibly to fill a new position. I'd like to see him stay. I think he's got something going here, and he's got the people really excited.
They would go to 7-3 with a win here overall, and 5-2 in the conference. Brown on the return. Whoa. He was just popped by number 37, McEnroe Alexander, a backup linebacker.
He comes from the side. Well, he never sees him coming.
We've had a couple of shots on special teams, haven't we?
This is
gave him everything he could.
Yeah. And you'd rather hit him high than hit him low. You know, that's what we're trying to get out of taking the knees out on tackles like that. But again, you've got to keep it to a point where it's not helmet to helmet. And that was a good play right there. Good tackle.
17 seconds to go, and Mason Rudolph hesitates and then will take a knee. So Iowa State with the momentum going into the locker room. And when we return, the studio will bring you up to date on everything after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Watch me, watch me, watch me do this. It's always been more than the music. You got it written on the back of my cruise ship. Look, watch me, watch me, watch me do this. Since 2012, I've been the coolest. If you do not get it, you're foolish.
Welcome back to ABC Saturday Afternoon College Football, presented by K Jewelers. Now let's take a look at our first half stats, brought to you by Dell. 219 total yards. Amazingly, Iowa State with the advantage over one of the most powerful offenses in all of college football. Oklahoma State with 171 total yards. Really an odd game. Iowa State starts like they're going to blow them out of here. Then Oklahoma State comes back like they had never even seen the 2 touchdowns and put up 21 in a row.
Yeah, great comeback by Oklahoma State. And then Iowa State comes back and scores at the end. Iowa State's played 3 quarterbacks. The running backs have really been the star of the game on both sides. But the punter from Iowa State, 4 punts for 29 yards. That's going to be a tough day for him if he doesn't pick it up.
Really hurt him. And Oklahoma State will get the ball first. They'll get it at the 25-yard line. And let's go to Paul Carcaterra.
Well, Mike, just caught up with Mike Gundy, the head coach of the Cowboys, and he's really thrilled with the run game with Justice Hill. How can you not be? The Big 12's leading rusher has been fantastic in this first half. The more they run the ball, the more opportunities for Mason Rudolph and that passing game. Defensively, he said they started sluggish. They played really, really well down the stretch in the second quarter until that last drive. He said they allowed Iowa State to play fast when they really had a vice grip on them in the late stages of that first quarter and the majority of the second.
Mason Rudolph leads them out here at the start of the third quarter in the 21-21 game. Probably an elimination game for either ball club. And Justice Hill taken down in the backfield. That's the first time they have gotten to him that early. J.D. Wagoner. Nice play on the outside.
That's a great call by John Heacock, the defensive coordinator from Iowa State. They slanted into the boundary, brought the outside linebacker from the field, slanted right into the play.
Last 4.5 games, they have been very stingy on defense. Showing 3-man front. Rudolph with time down the sideline, and a big hit by Cotton Moya that knocks the ball loose from Chris Lacey. Perfect throw.
Fade route down the sideline. Perfect throw right in the hole between the safety and the corner. Cotton Moya put it on him. You got to catch that ball. You got to catch it with your hands, get into your body. That was a big time hit.
You're going to get drilled anyway. And John Heacock, John Haycock, the longtime defensive coordinator, shut out West Virginia in the second half last week. That high-powered defense. Pressure coming on Rudolph. Steps away from Lanning and throws over the middle and completes it to the 47-yard line. Nice catch by Tylan Wallace, who's seeing a lot of time today. Only had 3 catches coming in.
Again, 3-man rush, no pressure, but the nose guard gets knocked into the boundary. There's nobody in the middle of the field. Lanning misses the tackle. Way too long. Way too long. Easy route, easy throw and catch, first down.
That would have forced a punt if they make the tackle on Rudolph. Instead, first down at the 47. Rudolph fakes. What a great arm. Throws to McCluskey. And Oklahoma State trying to go fast after the first down.
Again, just a seam route. Off of play action. Again, most everything they do is off play action because of Justice Hill. Good throw and catch. McCluskey has got to get involved in this game down the seams because of the coverage that they're playing in 3 deep.
Pulls the linebackers up, and then he throws in that void. This time they go to McCluskey on the flanker screen. He's taken out of bounds after a short game.
That was one
Brian Peavy was out there.
RPO for these guys. Run pass option. He could have handed the ball off, but it looked like, you know, just an overload to the outside with the wide receivers. That was more of a stress by the quarterback of trying to make something out of nothing.
2nd and 6. Hill, nice cut. Justice Hill missed by Wilkerson, brought down by Spears. No shame missing this guy. He makes a lot of people do that.
Now, that's that slow draw that you saw last week against Iowa State from West Virginia and gets the linebackers with depth. And this kid just runs right by most people. The first guy very seldom makes a tackle.
14 for 108 for Justice Hill. The leading rusher in this conference coming in with 118 yards a game. Hill again. This time nowhere to go, and we check in with Clark.
This Justice Hill kid is just fantastic. Watching him field level, his explosive ability is really unmatched. Brad Lundblade, the center for the Oklahoma State Cowboys, said earlier in the season that teams were challenging them to run the ball because how prolific their passing game was. Well, I think teams are going to start to have to reassess the way they play these guys, Mike. With Mason Rudolph in the passing game and now Justice Hill, this is a pick your poison type of scenario.
And it is poison on both ends, Clark. Certainly you give up the bigger plays if you allow the passing game to beat you, but Hill, I mean, it's depressing to see what he does to defenses.
Another good call by John Heacock, defensive coordinator. He blitzed right into the run. That's one of the few blitzes that we've seen today, especially on running downs.
Hill will get a breather on 3rd and 9. Crowd trying to get back in it on this drive. Rudolph with time. McCluskey, flanker screen. They rallied to the ball. Nice job by Willie Harvey, the weak side linebacker. And this will bring up a 4th down, and here comes the field goal unit.
That's not a very good percentage play on 3rd and 9. They were thinking blitz, and if they're playing zone, usually you can't get more than 4 or 5 yards, and that's all they got there because they played zone. Good tackling from Iowa State.
Amendola will try from 35. He's only made 13 of 19 this year. Now 14 out of 20, and Oklahoma State regains the lead, but this time by only 3.
Watching Veterans Week coverage on ESPN, brought to you by USAA.
Welcome back to ABC's College Football, presented by Kay Jewelers as part of Veterans Week on ESPN, brought to you by USAA. Oklahoma State down by 3, a chance to return the kickoff for Landon Akers. Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. Both teams have been able to move the ball. Hill over 100 yards, Montgomery at 73. Those are the running backs that control both of these offenses. Of course, Oklahoma State, with the power of their throwing game, has done well today. Zeb Noland is back out as the quarterback, the young man who hasn't played very much this season, but came on after Kemp struggled for 4 straight series. He understands football. His dad is a high school coach. Getting an opportunity right here. Montgomery getting delay. Montgomery gets away looking for a block. Heck of an effort by Montgomery. A flag down. That may be a face mask. Let's check in with Clark.
Flags everywhere, Mike. Well, we're seeing Zeb Noland right now. Started the season as the 3rd string quarterback. Remember, as we hear this call by the ref.
Yards added to the end of the
and Jacob Park was the starter. Then it was Kyle Kemp's job. Kyle Kemp struggling today, but he's injured, Mike. So who is this kid, Zeb Nolan? Well, redshirt freshman from the state of Georgia. And talking to people at halftime around the program, he is a gunslinger. Kemp way more conservative. A guy like Nolan will try to throw the ball in tight quarters, thread the needle. He'll make a great pass, but also could roll the dice a little bit more risky than Kyle Kemp.
Face mask takes the ball almost to midfield. Montgomery taken down by Ramon Richards. That's 4 Oklahoma State 15-yard penalties today. Kemp being talked to, has the jersey off. It looks highly unlikely that he would be coming back in this ballgame. You hate to see anything happen to him with all the struggles he's had throughout his career. Montgomery in the flat. Not a very good throw by Nolan. Made him turn around to make that catch. Lost his momentum, and Justin Phillips brought him down.
You're right, Mike. That ball's got to be thrown in front to get the momentum down the field. Had to turn all the way around, and that gave the defense a chance to get over there. A couple of plays ago, he cut back David Montgomery. That's twice he's done it in this game for positive yards. Oklahoma State is just over pursuing with the backside linebackers, and they've got to keep somebody home.
Big third down from midfield. 3-man rush. Nolan over the middle. First down at the 39-yard line. Lazard, the all Big 12 wide receiver from a year ago, who's an honors candidate again with his 6th catch.
Zone defense, 45 doesn't get enough depth. Chad Whitener's got to get more depth on the zone defense to take the middle pass away. Easy throw and catch.
Lazard, an Iowa kid who decided to stay home. He was highly recruited. Notre Dame and Stanford were very interested in him. And all he did was become a leading all-time receiver in Iowa State history. Lazard with time. Throws deep. 50-50 ball, and it's caught inside the 10-yard line. No, now they say incomplete as Lazard couldn't hold it.
Might get him for holding on pass interference down the sideline, but he dropped the ball when he hit the ground.
A.J. Green, who has 3 interceptions this year with good coverage. See if it was too good.
Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. We have holding, defense number 4. Will be 10 yards from the previous spot and an automatic first down.
So another big penalty on Oklahoma State, and Iowa State nearly penalty-free as usual.
Can't tell where he reached out and gets him there. They said he held him a little bit before that. Not a bad throw out of the young quarterback. Probably should have caught the ball.
5th first down by penalty, and you can see that grab from that angle. Good shot. Iowa State creeping in on field goal range. Montgomery again. Loves that jump cut. Always seems to find a way to get something out of it.
Oklahoma State's not changing anything on defense. What's happening is they're lining up in what they're going to run. The sideline in the press box changes the play, gets in the best play against that defense, and there's no adjustment from Oklahoma State moving around, giving them a bad read.
Nolan, the redshirt freshman. It's on his shoulders now. And Nolan throws a bullet to the 15-yard line. That's a first down to Marchie Murdoch. Another senior. This team has senior leadership all over the place.
Darius Williams has got him man-to-man. He's got to take away the inside route. That's just a good route. Poor coverage. Very poor coverage.
Back to Montgomery. Slips the tackle out to the outside, to the 5. Dives to the 3.
It's our 4th quarterback of the day.
Yes, it is, in the Wildcat formation.
Again, just missed tackle. There's nobody to set the edge for the defense for Oklahoma State.
Quick snap back to Montgomery. Dives for the end zone. Looked like he made it. Touchdown, Iowa State. What a response after falling behind again. And Chad Whitener, the middle linebacker, couldn't keep him out of the end zone.
Oklahoma State started this half just like they started the game. Very slow. They got a field goal on their drive, but they looked like they didn't even show up on defense on this drive with Iowa State just doing whatever they wanted. Running the ball, throwing the ball, not making any adjustments, playing base defense. Great leg drive right there by David Montgomery.
Tommy, he is such a patient runner. He is willing to wait for the hole to open up. You see that little stutter step, and then he explodes.
And we saw that last week running the draw
yes,
play.
Sir. Boy, it's quiet in here for a team that just took the lead, fighting to get into the league championship. 28-24, Cyclones.
College football on ABC, presented by K Jewelers, is brought to you by USAA. Show your appreciation this Veterans Day using #HonorThroughAction. And Audi.
Muralist Ray Bubba Sorensen II was inspired by Saving Private Ryan, as well as wanting to give veterans a unique recognition when he came up with the idea of the Freedom Rock Tour. Each creation takes about 3 weeks to complete. They're painted with long-lasting paint that will not need to be touched up for decades. And excuse me if I don't get through this very well. Ashes of local veterans are mixed with some of the paint. That's
awesome.
Magnificent. It's been a day for these two terrific running backs, Montgomery and Hill. They just won't quit.
They've been keeping each team alive, that's for sure. Breaking tackles, making big plays. Alan Lazard got involved as a wide receiver on that last drive, but it's pretty much been both running backs.
Hill at 109, Montgomery at 94. Got to hand it to Iowa State. They just hung in there after giving up 21 in a row. Here goes Hill, and look at this. They swarmed to the ball and made the tackle. Cotton Moya was the guy who got him around the knees and drilled him.
Again, great call with John Heacock. See, they slanted from the field into the boundary, and they brought the outside backer. Another perfect call on first down. They're going to start running play action on first down to stop that slant up front.
He said to us the other day, doesn't get a lot of sleep trying to be a defensive coordinator in this league, but he has done a heck of a job there. 20th in the country against scoring, and that's second in the Big 12. Little shovel pass to Hill, breaks a tackle. That was huge. Justice Hill gets another first down, gain of 16. Vernell Trent was the guy who missed the tackle, could have held it to 1 or 2 yards perhaps.
That was the slowest shovel pass.
Yes, it was.
They had penetration up the field. Rudolph did a great job of just holding on to it till Hill got open.
He actually pump faked it a couple of times.
That's right. And that's considered a pass, so that goes into the passing stats.
First and 10. Hill straight ahead. Gang tackle again after a short game.
Oklahoma State's bound and determined to run against that three-man front. But the problem is they're bringing a linebacker up late and moving the front. So you're going to have to run play action a little bit on first down to get them out of that.
It's always a guessing game. You're going to bring more than your standard front on run plays. Second and 8. Rudolph to Hill. Lanning cut him down after he avoided the first tackle. This is the former quarterback who had not played middle linebacker since the 8th grade. And he's been beaten up in the last couple of weeks, finally healthy again.
DeAndre Payne could have made the play of the day right there, knocking the ball loose in the backfield. But I tell you, Hill can make you miss and not even see you coming.
3rd and 7. Crowd asking the defense to make a play. They come with the late blitz. Rudolph getting away, but they'll get him back at the 41-yard line. Jaquan Bailey, who now has 2 sacks in this game. He had 3.5 coming in. Relentless with his pass rush.
Did a great job just staying after the rush. Just keep putting pressure. Rudolph against not a guy that can extend a play. They bring a guy late. He hugs up against his receiver that he's got man coverage. There's nobody downfield. They played man free. One of the first times they played man coverage in the secondary this half.
John Haycock pulling out all the stops, and there is Trevor Ryan, 12th in the country in punt returns. 13.6 is his average. Backs up to the 5. We'll have a chance to return this one. Got a block on the corner. Oh, another big block, and then he's knocked out of bounds hard at the 17-yard line. Don't see a flag. 2 monstrous blocks. Holy cow, there's the first one. Here comes the second one. Look out. Back at Iowa State, let's take a look at our all-state, all-hands in play. Joel Lanning, the middle linebacker, comes in their short yardage package. Pushed across with a lot of his own leg drive, and then he goes back to playing middle linebacker. Number 7 chasing down Hill in the flat. And off the hands of Hakeem Butler. Kark, what do you have?
Unrivaled positive ripples. That's what John Haycock said about Joel Lanning when he switched from quarterback to linebacker. And Haycock told me last week that day one he knew he had something special in the kid, and his selfless attitude. This is a senior-laden group, gentlemen, and when your senior leader can make a move like that, where the ego is checked at the door, makes all the world of a difference.
Going to go downfield. There was some contact at midfield, and there is the flag. Ramon Richards bumps Lazard before the ball got there. That's a huge play for the Iowa State.
Lazard had to break his route off to the middle of the field. He was trying to get outside. Ramon actually played outside, and so he comes inside and ends up tangling up.
Pass interference. Defense number 7, 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
One big penalty after another against the Oklahoma State defense.
Trying to move outside. He gets outside and then works back to it. I don't see much there. That's a pretty close call on pass interference because such a poor throw.
I think if he had turned his head around, he might have gotten away with it, but as it was, he impeded Lazard's ability to get back inside. Montgomery, couple yards, that's about it. Later today, you can catch a pair of games on ESPN with football playoff implications. Number 4 Clemson at 3:30 will host Florida State, followed by number 2 Alabama in Starkville taking on number 16 Mississippi State at 7. That Clemson-Florida State game preseason was going to be a huge game. Now not so much, but it still is for Clemson. They have to win that ball game. 2nd and 8. Nothing there for Montgomery. Darian Daniels, the big 300-pound tackle, stands him up.
Iowa State's added a tight end to their formation. This is something new that they've done. Oklahoma State's playing a 4-man front there. Looks like they're just trying to widen their defensive end a little bit farther out and try to get Montgomery inside on the run. They haven't got much inside today. I guess that's the reason they're trying to stretch the front with a tight end in the game.
3rd and 7 for the redshirt freshman quarterback Zeb Nolan. Blitz coming. They pick it up. And Nolan throws between 2 receivers. Butler was underneath. May have been intended for him.
Yeah, great pressure from the outside. And, you know, you can tell Oklahoma State's dialing it up now, trying to put pressure on a young quarterback. Again, you pressure an inexperienced quarterback and you defend a great quarterback that can stand back there and make reads. This guy's going to get a lot of pressure if he stays in the game from Oklahoma State.
Dowling will punt. He's only averaging 29 yards on 4 punts today. Dylan Stoner is deep. And a mock cheer as he gets off a good one. And excellent coverage. That looked like a late hit. No flag. 3-yard return after a 49-yard kick. And let's go to Paul Carcaterra.
Well, Mike, let's take a look at our Wells Fargo Innovations of Better. It's the iSync eye tracking device, a concussion protocol system. It's portable and it's compact and will test a student athlete with results in less than 60 seconds so clinicians can make critical and informed decisions right on the spot. Stanford, Iowa State, and Texas are using the device, and Mark Coverly, the director of sports medicine, has headed up this initiative for the Cyclones.
Now, we thought when you did that we would find you had been concussed, but we did not. Isn't that correct? Perfect pass right over the middle, complete to Jalen McCleskey, still on his feet. Nobody brings him down, and McCleskey all the way inside the 5-yard line. I kept waiting for somebody to get there, and nobody ever did. 81 yards.
Again, they ran the slant on first down. Play action pass on first down. The linebackers are up. Great call by the offensive coordinator.
They go hurry up. Diving for the end zone was Justice Hill. Did he make it? He did. Touchdown, Oklahoma State.
Well, that didn't take long.
No, it didn't. Back and forth and back and forth. 3 touchdowns for Justice Hill. And an up and down emotional day for both ball clubs.
And that's how these guys play. You know, they're both of them are really a big play team, especially Oklahoma State. And that was a good surge right there by the defensive lineman. They said he got over the top and crossed the goal line with the ball. Great drive, great 2-play drive out of Oklahoma State. Get them back in the ball game. They needed something positive to happen. Last week, they gave up where there was 76 points scored in the first half of the Oklahoma game. And they need to keep that same tempo up the second half.
So Mike Gundy has his club back on top in a must-win game for both.
Field of a touchdown is under further review.
And if you're the defensive coordinator on a play like that, you're kind of looking around going, well, what happened? You know, we've been playing so well, and then all of a sudden, bam, they've got such good athletes at wide receiver.
Looked like the far side official made that call. He was the one that had the best look at it, but it's tough to tell from here.
Marcus Keys, the left guard right there, number 75, gets huge push up the middle. You see him knocking 58 out. J.D. Wagner. That's where the hole opened up. J.D. Wagner's got to stay low on the goal line. You can't get knocked back like that because your linebackers get knocked off.
After review, the ruling on the field of touchdown stands as called.
So Oklahoma State with a chance to go back up by 3 with the extra point. Amendola has not missed this year. And the pressure goes right back to the Cyclones. Amendola knocks it through. Oklahoma State with 1:27 on the third quarter clock, up by 3. Welcome back. Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary from Ames, Iowa. And it's been a story of 2 great running backs, the top 2 in the conference. David Montgomery, a pair of scores on 97 yards rushing. And Justice Hill, 3 touchdowns with 109 yards on the ground. You're not going to go wrong if you take either one of these kids, are you?
No, they're both of them are good. They're competitors, too, and they're very tough.
Here's Akers on the return. We have seen some monster hits on special teams, and Akers gets another one. He's Trevor Ryan, blasted out of bounds. And here's Paul Carcaterra.
Well, David Montgomery, coaches call him a culture changer. He grew up in Cincinnati, had every opportunity to go down the wrong path, but he chose the right one. It included sports and becoming an Eagle Scout. His big project as an Eagle Scout was collecting toiletries for the homeless, and Matt Campbell recruited this kid when he was at Toledo. Didn't have a ton of offers, so once he got that Iowa State job, one of the first kids he offered, David Montgomery. And Ames, well, they're tickled pink over this kid because he has another year minimum eligibility-wise and one of the best running backs in the Big 12.
Tell you what, Clark, you look at all those merit badges. You know how hard it is to get a merit badge in scouting? I mean, for me, it was impossible. There was no way I was going to do all the stuff that was required, but
a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to get just one.
Now we have a player down. We'll check on him as quickly as we can. Let's check in with Cassidy Hubbard.
Thanks, Mike. We got a tight game between number 23 NC State and Boston College, and watch this run by Thad Smith. He tight ropes the sideline and soars to the pylon. They reviewed it, call stands to give the Eagles a 14-10 lead on ABC, ESPN2, or the app everywhere. Back to you guys.
What a great second half of the season for Boston College.
Much improved. That ACC has got a lot of good talent.
Yes,
a lot of young talent.
1:19 to go, third quarter. Iowa State trails again. Have to start from the 28. Sheldon Croney is in as the running back, giving Montgomery a break. Throw out in the flat, complete to Deshaunte Jones.
Just a quick screen. Again, they didn't have anybody covering him closer than 4 or 5 yards. That's kind of like a running play. Deshaunte Jones, quick, played quarterback and running back in high school at Colerain High School in Cincinnati.
Second and 2. Nolan, since coming on for the injured Kyle Kemp, has hit 6 out of 8 for 68 yards, and that made it 7 out of 9. Lazard makes yet another catch, and it's a first down for the Cyclones.
Again, zone defense. Just a quick slant to Lazard. When you play in zone like that, that's pretty much throw and catch. Good throw with a young kid. 7
grabs by Lazard. This time he airs one out and drops it into the 26-yard line. What a beautiful throw to Matthew Eaton. Dropped it in a bucket.
Yeah, good outside release. Kind of like a wheel route. Watch, he fakes the outside move up the field. Got zone coverage over the top. Radarius Williams takes his eyes off the receiver.
And it looks like Eaton may have pulled something. And Trey Flowers, the safety, didn't get over in time. And that is going to end the third quarter in an exciting, huge ball game from Ames. A 3-point lead. We'll be back with the fourth quarter after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
You're watching Veterans Week coverage on ESPN, brought to you by USAA.
Back at Iowa State, Eaton, who was being treated on the sideline, now having his ankle rewrapped. It looks like he's got a chance to be okay. Montgomery. No quit in either one of these clubs. They just keep coming back. And the young man out of Norfolk, Virginia, being taped up again. His dad, one of the people being honored today as a veteran, more than 20 years in the Navy. Now Montgomery, 19 carries, 103 yards. These are the top 2 running backs in the Big 12 in terms of average. Iowa State in field goal range. Jump ball, was it caught? It was! Lazard with a tipped ball and brought it down. Holy cow. Darius Curry had the coverage. He may have tipped it.
Very good coverage. Got his hands on it. Tipped it up.
Oh. What a great play by Lazard, the all-time leading receiver in school history. He tipped it to himself.
And caught it one-handed.
How about that?
And a linebacker throws him the ball.
Lanning comes in, usually a short yardage guy. He had only thrown the ball 3 times this year coming into this game. They put him back at quarterback. He ran some short yardage situations, but throws a pass to the end zone. And Lazard said, "This is mine." Owens on for the point after. I think it's the last team where the ball wins.
It could be.
35-31. Iowa State, the Cyclones will not go away.
Just lean back and let it go.
Welcome back to Ames, Iowa. All-State is proud to be part of the team that comes together to do good by contributing to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kicked. All-State has contributed millions in scholarship funds. Iowa State back on top, 35-31. Brown is deep. They'll take it to 25, and here is Cassidy Hubbard.
Thanks, Mike. Back to Atlanta, where number 17 Virginia Tech was trailing Georgia Tech until Taquan Marshall, picked off by Greg Stroman, returns it for the score. They failed the 2-point conversion, but Tech up 22. Now Georgia Tech up 27-22. Added score there. Now coming up on ABC, undefeated Wisconsin hosting Iowa, 3:30 Eastern. You can see it on the app as well. Mike, Tommy, back to you guys.
Cassidy, thanks so much. Monster game for Wisconsin. They have to remain unbeaten and then win the Big Ten championship. It would seem to have a shot. Mason Rudolph, change of play. Still plenty of time on the play clock, not yet at 10. Fakes it to Justice Hill and throws over the middle. Big hit, but a nice catch there by Dylan Stoner.
I think Oklahoma State's right here. I think they need to throw the ball on first down. Play action pass brings Marcus Spears up.
Screen. Justice Hill still on his feet. Everett Edwards, the transfer from Duke, had to make the stop downfield.
Last drive they scored in 2 plays from 80 yards out.
Now they're slowing him down.
Yeah.
J.D. King will check in to give Hill a breather. It's hard not to use a guy like Mason Rudolph if you've got him, no matter how good the running game is going. Such an exceptional talent. Three-man rush. That ball looked like it was tipped, intended for Stoner. Very well covered by Tymar Sutton, the backup middle linebacker to Lanning. Sutton, a redshirt freshman.
Tight man-to-man coverage. Looks like he kind of hooked him a little bit, but you know, they're not going to call that. With all these passes, you know, they could almost call pass interference against man coverage almost every play.
Rudolph had hit 9 in a row until that one looked like he tried to hang on to the ball or something. It didn't come out of his hand very well. Three-man rush, and they give it to J.D. King, and he goes absolutely nowhere. Jaquan Bailey, who is just having a monster game from that defensive end spot, made another tackle.
Iowa State baits you into running the ball. That's what they did against Texas Tech, Oklahoma, Texas. All these teams, they think, hey, three-man front, we can run the ball. Oklahoma State's going to have to make their mind up if they're going to make a passing game out of this or a running game. I think they're going to have to throw it to win it.
3rd and 9. Huge play here. They have put very little pressure on Rudolph in this game. And they'll hand it off on 3rd and 9 and run it. And not even close, as J.D. King out of Fitzgerald, Georgia, taken down by Willie Harvey. And John Haycock outguessed him again.
Very unusual call, especially with Rudolph at quarterback and all these great wide receivers. They'll go for this. You know, 3 points doesn't make that much difference. You're going to have to score more points, you know, in this quarter alone to have a chance to keep up with a hot Iowa State offense.
They need to reach the 26-yard line. For a first down. 4th and 6. Whistles blow. And it looked like an Oklahoma State timeout.
Oklahoma State calls their first timeout of the half.
That's the first of 3.
College football on ABC is presented by Kay Jewelers. Kay Jewelers, the #1 jewelry store in America. Every kiss begins with K. In part by Buick, proud partner of the NCAA. And Pacific Life. Experience the power of Pacific.
We end our Freedom Rock Tour by muralist Ray Bubba Sorensen II in Boone, Iowa, 15 miles west of Ames. We thank him for the Freedom Rock Tour, his art, his skill, and his patriotism. Those are magnificent. Mason Rudolph on 4th and 6.
Bring some heat. Take a chance. Come after him. This could be a chance to go to the championship game.
They come with 4, and Rudolph takes off. What a great play call, because nobody in this building saw that coming.
They just cleared everybody out, Mike, knowing that that's probably what was going to happen. They actually brought 4, but they brought a linebacker. Nose guard went too far to the field. Mason Rudolph made a good read and then perfect for the first down.
He'd gained 47 yards rushing all year. Terrific play call. First and 10 in what is now a 4-point game. And Iowa State comes up with Willie Harvey. He has had a great game, as has Jaquan Bailey. They have made one play after another.
Great play, but it's not going to work if Dylan Stoner doesn't block. It doesn't make any big difference what kind of defense you run there. Your wide receiver has the block. He's got to get his head up and get the guy kicked outside.
Hill, for one of the few times today, did not have a chance. .10:41 and counting. Fake to Hill. Rudolph goes deep. His receiver stopped his route, so there was nobody there. Miscommunication on that one.
James Washington got the wrong hand signal from Mason Rudolph. He runs a stop route. He thinks he's running a go route. Bad time to have miscommunication with the receiver.
Washington is the second leading receiver in the country in terms of yards, 1,133 yards on the season. He has nothing today, and he leads in average almost 126 yards a game. Huge third down here. Hill trying to get to the outside. He'll pick up about 7. So what do you do here, Coach? 4th and long.
You got to kick it here. It's a little bit too far. Another unusual play on third down to run the ball.
Sure was. Of course, you can also say giving the ball to Justice Hill is never a bad thing.
No, he's made a lot of plays.
Amendola. He's hit one today from 35. This will be from 41 to make it a 1-point game. Drilled it. Amendola, 35-34 with 9:43 to go. Back and forth on senior day in Ames, Iowa, in a game both need desperately. Iowa State University, Ames on a cold and breezy Saturday afternoon. A 1-point lead for the Cyclones over the Cowboys. And only 9:43 left. Ryan, 3 yards deep, thought about it, and then his teammate said, no, just keep it right there. This is how critical this game is. Oklahoma State with 2 losses in the conference. They cannot afford a third. Iowa State cannot afford a third. Should Iowa State win this game, it would have the tiebreakers over both TCU and Oklahoma. One of those teams is going to lose today. And Iowa State still has a terrific shot at the championship game if they can pull this one out.
Glenn Spencer, the D coordinator from Oklahoma State, is going to have to put some tricks out of his hat here. He has got to get these guys off the field in a short period of time. They're still trail by 1. They can't keep giving up 7-8 yards of play.
Zeb Nolan, the redshirt freshman, is the quarterback. And Nolan unloads, got a man downfield and a perfect strike. The catch made by Murdoch. What a throw from Nolan, who's in there for the injured Kyle Kemp.
Play action, simple post route. A.J. Green, just poor location. I mean, he gets turned around on the play action. You got to get more point contact vision on the receiver.
And I really like what Murdoch did on that. He made sure he made the catch. He went to the ground. He wasn't thinking, let's get something extra out of this. Just make the catch on a big play. Flanker screen. This one is out to Ryan. Big gain there. Let's go to Cart.
Mike, I can't believe the poise of Zeb Nolan, the redshirt freshman from Georgia. I'm watching him on the sideline in between possessions, smiling ear to ear. So cool, so relaxed. Remember, a year ago at this time, he was the 4th-string quarterback.
It's amazing. Players love to play. Give him a chance. Another perfect throw. And a flag is down. This may be a targeting. Ryan made a great catch and then got crushed by Trey Flowers. Another exceptional throw by Nolan, and Ryan knew he was going to be drilled, made the catch anyway. Former Northern Iowa player, a transfer, came here as a running back. They turned him into a wide receiver.
Just a quick slant.
Ruling on the field is a completed catch. We have a personal foul targeting number 2 of the defense. That play is under further review.
Sure looks like it will fit all the parameters for targeting. A blow to the head against the defenseless receiver.
Again, it doesn't have to be the helmet. He leads with his shoulder.
The foul is on number 31.
That's Trey Flowers. And again, you can't lead above the shoulders with the helmet or shoulder pads. And it doesn't look like there's a lot of connection with the helmet to helmet. but it is with the shoulder.
And a blow to the head is still that, and Flowers is down as well. And that's one of the things they have tried to emphasize to players. Not only can you hurt somebody else, you can hurt yourself.
And you usually get it on a quick slant or a quick post by the receiver. You're always going to have a collision.
And this would take Flowers out of the first half of next week's game.
Again, this is going to be close. You can see his helmet right here go back at some degree, but he tries to lead with his shoulder.
It's a blow to the head.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah,
it looked, in fact, in that slow-mo, looked like a lead with the crown of the helmet to his chin.
That's a better look right there.
Yeah, that's hard to imagine they would do anything but confirm that. Here's the rule. A dangerous hit involves launching upward thrust or severe strike or a look at the bottom. Any forcible hit by the crown of the helmet.
After review, the ruling of targeting is confirmed. Number 31 is disqualified from the game.
So they will lose their senior free safety for the rest of this game and for next week. And Ryan, who was the victim in that, is going to be taken to the locker room and tended to. I'm sure they will go through the concussion protocol with him after a shot like that. And let's go to Kark.
Well, Mike, our Wells Fargo innovation of better was the iSync eye tracking device, a concussion protocol system that Iowa State, one of 3 teams, uses. Ryan is off to the locker room, and you would bet that he will take part.
That's a wonderful tool to have there, Paul. And another huge play against Oklahoma State. The first down by penalty, number 7 in this game. Now first and goal for Iowa State. Lanning comes in, hands it off, and Montgomery takes it in for a touchdown. This team is so resilient, and they are so outmanned by virtually everybody they play. But their senior leadership and their attitude is what has kept them in this and a lot of other games.
They give you so many looks. There's a backside tight end coming across and kicking out. That was an easy one. Last week we saw this same situation. They had a tough time, but there was nobody outside applying pressure from the corner.
20 carries, 107 yards, 3 touchdowns. For Montgomery, he's also added another 20 yards on 4 catches. And that's a huge extra point because it makes it an 8-point lead. So to tie, Oklahoma State will need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
You love like a wildfire, like me.
It will be the first Big 12 championship game since 2010. It'll be played at Jerry's Place in Arlington, Texas. And the 2 teams with the highest conference win percentage will advance to the championship game. There are no divisions. It is the best 2 records in the entire conference. And it's still up in the air.
And we could be looking at one of the teams today.
Absolutely. Later today, you'll also see a pair of games on ESPN with college football playoff implications. 3:30 Eastern, number 4, Clemson will host Florida State. And then number 2, Alabama goes to Starkville to take on number 16, Mississippi State at 7. Both games streaming live on the ESPN app. This has been an interesting game all afternoon and getting more and more so. Oklahoma State now down by 8. A touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie right now with 8:38 to go. Nolan has come on, the redshirt freshman quarterback, and he's put a spark in the passing game, which Mason Rudolph always does. Rudolph with time. This deep out to the sideline is complete. Nice throw and a good catch by James Washington, which is the first grab. And he did get a foot down, 22 yards. So you go to your All-American candidate when everything is on the line. He has averaged 21.8 yards a catch. He'll lose a yard. Stopped by Wagner.
Mike, you're the offensive coordinator from Oklahoma State. Obviously, is starting to make a little bit of change in what he's going to do. He's got to start throwing the ball more. He's going to run out of time. He's almost 2 scores behind. He's got to throw the ball down the field.
Second and 10. And that's going to be enough for a first down, caught by Chris Lacey, who's only caught 14 balls all year long.
Well, Oklahoma State's going to go back and look at this film and say we did not throw the ball enough, especially to the outside against the corners. That's what they're going to have to start attacking more, going to the outside.
First down from the 40. Hill off the left side with a huge hole. Picks up 22 yards to the Oklahoma State 18-yard line.
Patience. Keep patience. Justice Hill, he's about as good as they come when it comes to hitting the hole hard.
Isn't he?
And picking his way through a secondary.
He and Montgomery have been exceptional today. Hill with 133 yards on the ground. They fake it to him this time. And that pass whistles past Lacey. They had 2 guys in the area. DeAndre Payne was there. And Marcel Spears, the strong side linebacker, was also in coverage. That stops the clock with 7:01 left.
A lot of heat on that ball.
Yes, there was. His arm has never been in doubt. 32 school records held by Mason Rudolph. Short set. Rudolph shovel to Hill. And Hill swallowed up. Nicely defensed. Ray Lima, who can be a difference maker inside. Their biggest guy at 306 pounds.
Yeah, they just don't get enough pass rush. Actually, their offensive linemen do too good of a job of blocking. They don't let them run up the field. That's kind of like a draw play. You kind of got to make the defensive line run up the field and make that play work.
You've got to get penetration. If you don't, there's just people waiting for you to catch the ball. 3rd and 12. Huge play here. Rudolph. Flag is down. And let's see what the call is. There's still a fight for the ball. Not even sure if it was caught.
It's going to be a holding call on the inside.
Ruling on the field is a completed pass. We have holding, offense number 78. Oh. 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay 3rd down.
That's the graduate transfer left tackle, Aaron Cochran. Huge penalty. 9 for 105 against Oklahoma State, and naturally Iowa State has had almost nothing. They're the 4th least penalized team in the country. 3rd and 22.
You can't turn it over, but you can take 3 points. So don't get greedy. Make sure you get at least 3 on this drive.
Hill goes in motion. Rudolph with time. Plenty of time. Throws deep. And caught for a touchdown, Marcel Aitman. Double covered. Rudolph threw it up for grabs, and Aitman at 6'4", 220 just outfought everybody else.
Well,
the receiver was forced out of bounds and reestablished inbounds. The ruling on the field is touchdown.
Wow. That was an unbelievable throw. Really a gamble by Mason Rudolph. Aitman just out jumps the defender. Kind of a jump ball.
6'4", 220. You're taller than most defenders and bigger than everyone.
DeAndre Payne, number 1, the defensive back there. He's 5'10", 180 pounds. He just gets out jumped.
Now Rudolph will get his team lined up to go for 2. And looking to tie.
You've worked on a two-point play all week long. You really have two. You work on two-point plays against every defense. These spread offenses where you know huddled, they usually signal in the play that you're going to run. You get an option of where to take the ball. They've taken the ball on the left middle hash mark, usually a flood route. I'd be awful tempted to give this ball to Justice Hill.
Never a bad thing, but you can also see the good stuff that happens when you throw it to Aitman. So many weapons for this ball club. They fake it to Hill. Pressure comes. A flag is down. That's probably a hold, as Payne was on Aitman.
He wanted to go the inside receiver on play action. It could be offense. We'll have to wait and see.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the defense. Holding, defense number 10, that penalty is declined. Holding, defense number 1, that penalty be accepted. It'll be half the distance to the goal, and we'll replay the try.
Both corners holding on each side of the field. They weren't going to let them throw the ball to the outside.
So it's a yard and a half now. Makes a running play more likely.
Now they've moved the ball to the right hash mark.
And that's all based on what they want to call, correct?
Right. Aitman moving now into the boundary. He normally plays to the left side.
5 wide receivers, 3 to the near side. Another flag down. That looked like it was hand fighting between Peavy and Aitman.
They just moved Aitman to the other side and picked on the other corner. He gets in his way.
Holding, defense number 10, half the distance to the goal. Replay the try.
That's a tough call because Peavy is entitled to be where he lines up.
Well, you can see their comparison, the height difference. Look how much taller. You got to give him a free run. Brian Peavy is 5'9", and that is a true mismatch.
So now it's marked inside the 1. And this will be their 3rd play to get a 2-point conversion.
Justice Hill at quarterback.
Direct snap. He got it. Justice Hill has tied the game at 42. Well, we said earlier, last team with the ball wins.
Yeah. And there's going to be 2 more possessions at least.
It looks like it. 20 points on the day for Justice Hill. 3 rushing touchdowns in this 2-point play.
Great block there by number 6. And then coming from the outside and making that block was amazing. Keenan Brown.
Big tight end. Fullback, they call it the cowboy back. 6'3", 250 is a lead blocker. Most of those guys glorified guards.
That's exactly right.
17 points allowed in the second half. That was in the last 6 games. But 21 points allowed in the second half today. You are facing a different animal when you're playing against Oklahoma State. Either team from this point on that can sustain a drive, it would be huge. 1 on the return. Tripped up, gets to the 23-yard line. Tonight on ABC, it's number 3 Notre Dame in South Florida to face number 7 Miami, trying to stay unbeaten. That's the Fighting Irish and the Hurricanes, 8 Eastern on ABC, as well as streaming live on the ESPN app. And Tommy, I think you have to look at that game as an elimination game.
You really do. This late in the season, we'll find out where Miami's at. Miami's had some close wins, but it's hard to beat the Hurricanes in South Florida this late in the year because northern teams tend to cramp up the second half. They lose their fluids because of humidity.
I wouldn't mind being someplace to lose fluids. Would you? I mean, I'd take Miami in a heartbeat. Montgomery ripped as he got to the 20-yard line. Jordan Brailford came from his defensive end spot.
They moved him on the inside slant, and he made contact. David Montgomery didn't have a chance to make a break. He gets the ball and gets tackled at the same time. That was a huge play on first down, 2nd and long.
Let's see what the redshirt freshman quarterback has in his bag of trips. Nolan has been terrific. Play action fake here. Drills this one. Tight coverage by Green. And he came over the top of Lazard and tipped it away.
Yeah, that's about as close as you can get in pass interference. He came over the top, but he gets piece of the ball. A.J. Green makes a good break. The ball is actually tipped. That's the reason it can't be pass interference.
Right. Justin Phillips got a piece of it, just enough, so that Green could then do anything he wanted defensively.
Watch the screen here.
Iowa State does not want to turn the ball right back to Oklahoma State with all this time. And that pass well overthrown.
Great
and that's
series.
Exactly what they'll do. Deshaunte Jones never had a chance.
Oklahoma State came out and decided they were going to play defense, and they played tighter. They forced them to throw the ball over their head. Obviously couldn't do that. They got too much pressure. Big play on first down. By Bradford. It was really dialed up by the defensive coordinator.
3 plays, 48 seconds, and now this high-octane Oklahoma State defense, or offense rather, is going to get the ball back. Stoner comes up on a short kick, makes the fair catch near midfield, a punt of only 32 yards. If you're just joining us, this game's so critical for both of these teams. TCU playing Oklahoma. That means one of those teams will have 2 losses. The team that loses this game will have 3. And you're going to have to do a lot of heavy computer work with fuzzy math to find a way to get in with 3 losses.
The top 2 teams will make the Big 12 championship game. It's rather unusual only having 10 teams. A lot of the conferences have been trying to get them to expand, but they said no way. We'll play a championship game with 10. So it's very unusual to do that. We'll see how it works.
Kyle Kempt has been out, been bothered by a shoulder injury for a couple of weeks. Also took a couple of big shots. Hill to the 48-yard line, so his jersey is off, his helmet is gone.
Good tackle right there by Cotton Moya. I tell you, he has made people miss in that situation today. He's got to be a little bit tired.
Cotton Moya is a good player too.
Yeah, he is a good player. You can tell Justice Hill is he's not as active as he was earlier, but you carry the ball this many times in this type of weather, it really wears you down.
They have a breeze at their back if you're thinking field goal. Rudolph, plenty of time, no pressure at all. Finally, they get in his face a little bit, but he throws to Aikman. Lost the ball. He may have been down before it came out, but it looked like he got it back himself anyway.
You live and die on the 3-man rush, and that's exactly what happens here. They've got 3 rushing, and they get zero
Ruling on the
pressure.
field is a completed pass and a first down.
That looked like that ball came out before he was down. Really close with his left knee that close to the ground.
Ruling on the field of a completed catch is under further review.
And he recovered his own fumble.
Right.
did he catch it? That's going to have to be the answer here on instant replay.
They are already well within field goal range for Amendola.
Good throw, good patience, but Mason Rudolph.
Clearly a catch.
Yeah, the ground cannot cause a fumble.
He took several steps, so there's not going to be any question of whether it was a completed pass.
Just not enough pressure on Rudolph. Give him at least 7 or 8 seconds to throw the ball, and that's not good when you're trying to cover these bigger receivers, especially Aitman.
There are tremendous receivers on this Oklahoma State team, but when you talk to coaches from other clubs, everybody mentions Marcell Aitman. I think it's because you don't find a guy who runs that well at 6'4", 220.
And we haven't called James Washington that much today.
No.
But he's got an ankle injury. He's a little sore. Tyron Johnson, we expected to see him more today. But the guy that's shown up is Marcell Aitman.
He's out of Dallas, a senior. He's also their best downfield blocker.
It's definitely a catch.
After review, the ruling on the field of a completed pass and a fumble recovered by the offense is confirmed. First down.
That may have been Iowa State's best chance.
Right.
They couldn't come up with it. Oklahoma State now up to almost 500 yards in total offense, the majority of it coming in this half.
Look at the run. I mean, the first half yardage.
Rudolph now with 350 yards passing, his 9th 300-yard game in the last 11. Swing pass. And that is a touchdown to Dylan Stoner. That was too easy.
Way too easy. Just kind of over
good news, Tommy, for Iowa State is that they've got plenty of time left on the clock. They gave up the score so easily.
That might have been the best thing to happen to him. As you can tell here, he just misses a tackle. Good block downfield by James Washington. They could have called him for holding, but he was in front of him.
Stoner, just a redshirt freshman. And now Amendola for the point after, which would make it a 7-point game again. And further evidence that defense is a dying art, especially in the Big 12. 91 points so far. We're probably not done. 7-point game. 3:47 left. Watch Washington on the outside. Oh, got away with one.
They got away with that one. And that's an easy call, but you have one official looking at that receiver. They got a huge break.
.347 to go with a redshirt freshman at the controls. Warren is deep. 4 yards in the end zone. He'll take it there. Iowa State has already beaten 2 top 5 teams. The only team in the country to do that. They've been ranked for the first time since 2005. They haven't had a conference start this good since 2002. And they beat number 3 Oklahoma, number 4 TCU. They have a chance to knock off the 15th ranked team in the country here. They've never beaten 3 ranked teams in the season, ever.
They've got to get the ball to Alan Lazard. He's the guy that's got to make the big plays downfield.
Lazard already has 8 catches. Nolan with time, and he throws behind his intended receiver, and that's Lazard, and he says it's on me. It's good to take responsibility, but you can't have many more mistakes. He's hit 11 out of 15. He's already thrown more passes in this game than he had coming in. 5 out of 10 on the season. with Kempt sideline. Imagine the pressure on this kid. Throws that one away as he was under a heavy rush intended for Murdoch. Trey Carter, number 99, was fighting to get to the quarterback.
Iowa State's offensive line just got whipped in. Just got absolutely whipped, got pressure on him. He needs to have a complete field to look at. And when you got a freshman in there trying to throw a ball under this situation, you don't need a big guy in front of your face.
Started 11 out of 13, but he's missed his last 4. The coverage has been better. The pressure has been better. Rush 3, drop 8. They get pressure on him anyway. That pass nearly intercepted. So a 3-man rush, and you get pressure right in the quarterback's face. Brailford was coming hard.
Our offensive line here is failing them in the last drive. They just get speed rush to the outside. 94 Jordan Belford right in his face, almost intercepted.
Boy, that's lucky it wasn't picked off. 3:32 to go, and Iowa State has all 3 timeouts, so they can take a chance and punt the ball away. They're hoping Colin Downing will have a good kick. He's only had 1 so far in this game. This is low, end over end. Does not take a good bounce for him. Now does. And is going to be down to around the 32-yard line. So they need a defensive stand after a punt of 43 yards because they have to get the ball back, and they have to get it ball back quickly. Oklahoma State 13-1 in the last 4 games, or 14 that have been decided by 10 points or less. And that was the exception was Oklahoma a week ago.
I think Gundy's hair's grown a little bit this game. We've been out here a long time. These Big 12 games last forever, and especially under stress. He's done a great job at Oklahoma State. I've known Mike a long time. He's one of their own, and he's put them on the map. They've been very consistent. There's the famous mullet.
Looks good on him.
I don't think I'll try it.
Maybe too late for that, Coach. That one is going to lose a yard. And let's go to Cassidy Hubbard.
Thanks, Mike. Just want to give people a heads up. Wisconsin, Iowa underway on ESPN News, and Iowa on the board early after Alex Honeyberg intercepted by Joshua Jackson, a pick 6. Hawkeyes up 7-0 again on ESPN News, and we'll move to ABC as soon as this one goes final. Back to you guys.
Cassidy, how about that for Iowa? What a start after they throttled Ohio State a week ago. And that would be the death knell for Wisconsin. This young man just hoping for another chance as Oklahoma State has racked up 516 yards in total offense. It's not unusual for them.
Well, the last 2 drives have just absolutely let Iowa State down. Pretty much 3 and out. No production down the field. David Montgomery's been taken out of the ball game. I think we're going to see a lot more here of Justice Hill.
They're trying to make their stand here. They've used their first timeout. And they'll give it to King. Let's see if they stop the clock again to give themselves as much time remaining. And they do, which means they have to stop Oklahoma State's offense on 3rd and long. We'll be back in a second. Is there magic in the blanket? They need 7 to tie. And this is the biggest play of the game. It's going to be 3rd and long for Oklahoma State. John Haycock has 1 timeout left that they can call after this play and preserve as much time as possible. But this is the play.
You got to play man coverage. You got to take away the short throw, make it over the top, get a little pressure.
Rudolph to throw. Plenty of time. Drops it off. Ooh, that is just short of a first down by King. A solid tackle out there by Harvey and Peavy. Well, what do you do if you're Oklahoma State? 4th and a yard? Do you dare gamble in your own end of the field? Last time out by Iowa State, we'll find out in a minute. Justice Hill not in on this series. We have seen King in relief a couple of times.
Got man coverage here. The linebacker loses him to the outside. That's Lanning. He lets him go. That was a huge misassignment by Joel Lanning. Awfully close.
They did not get a good spot on that. They are going to need about a full yard. I can't imagine gambling here. Can you?
No,
You're the riverboat gambler. Would you do it?
Yeah, well, if you don't make it, and the running game, you know, it has really not been strong without Justice Hill in there. You know, you know, you got to make this freshman quarterback try to score a touchdown to beat you.
Signer comes on to punt.
Ruling on the field, and the runner short of the line to gain is under further review.
Well, that took a while.
Yeah, I was going to say, the instant replay guy's either asleep.
We had a timeout. The protracted review says it is still 4th and 1, that King did not reach the yard that he needed to, but they gave him a poor spot. Moved it back to the 41. Should have been at least a half-yard back.
Well, they did.
Signer to punt. Lazard with those good hands will make a fair catch back at the 13-yard line. 46-yard punt, no return. Montgomery running hard and running effectively in the first game, and then Hill doing the same thing for Oklahoma State. Nolan comes off the bench, the redshirt freshman who had barely played, gives them a real boost, but Oklahoma State, with that powerhouse offense, kept coming back. Stoner with a go-ahead touchdown. Now it's all on Iowa State. No timeouts, 2:55 left in the ball game. They have no choice but to score. Nolan has missed his last 5. Trying to keep the magic going. Hayes, pressure comes. Flanker screen. Lazard got a block. Got another block. Lazard still on his feet to the 36-yard line. Boy, did they need that.
Well, the motion by David Montgomery out of the backfield took 2 linebackers with him. They had nobody on the backside on the quick screen.
They'll mark it at the 43. The out to midfield. Marchie Murdoch makes the catch.
Great job blocking by the receivers here. Watch downfield. Offensive lineman blocking downfield. Deshaunte Jones, number 8, makes a key block, but a lot of just hard running by Alan Lazard.
The officials holding up the snap and the fans booing that action. 4-man rush, no pressure, and that pass is complete. Good job at getting out of bounds by Murdoch. Although the clock would have stopped anyway, temporarily at least, with a first down. Still plenty of time to go. 2:04, now the clock restarts.
Got to get Lazard into this game, or maybe David Montgomery out of the backfield.
Using a lot of time here, and they have no timeouts as well. And that route cut off by Deshaunte Jones, and Nolan threw the ball deep.
Just miscommunication there. Should have got it to him a little bit quicker, but he obviously cut his, as you said, cut his route short.
It's a really empty feeling as a quarterback when you let the ball go and the receiver stops. Then it's up for grabs by anybody. The numbers on both quarterbacks, and Nolan certainly has provided a spark off the bench. Blitz coming. Throws underneath. Chance to get a first down and more. Deshaunte Jones all the way to the 20. A gain of 21 yards.
Jarrell Moore on number 5 just made a poor decision and a poor angle on the crossing route. He could have got off a block and made that tackle 10 yards before he got downfield.
Nolan hoping to be a hero and keep Iowa State's hopes alive. Little swing, Montgomery. Grabbed by the back of the collar and thrown out of bounds. He was not pulled down, so it won't be a horse collar tackle. 5 catches for Montgomery. One hand tipped it to himself.
Just trying to get a quick screen down the field. Again, I don't think he's touched the ball enough this half. He's one of their better players. He could be a big factor in the next 15 yards.
2nd and 4. Tommy, let's look ahead. If you score, do you go for 2 in the win?
Right at home.
For the end zone. Batted away. Nice play by Rodarius Williams.
This is going to be close. You hear a lot of boos in the stands. You make the call. Try to get an inside move. He stays inside.
Could have easily been a hold. He was great at the point where the ball got there.
You see the official. You got the same eyes he's got. That was pretty close.
3rd and 4. Lazard to the near side. They look the other way, and he's got to get rid of that ball. Trey Carter gets the sack. Clock will continue to run. And now it's 4th down and a must convert situation.
Huge play out of a backup left defensive tackle. Trey Carter unblocked.
4th and 13. The sticks are near the 9.
Timeout. Oklahoma State. It'll be 30 seconds in length.
Boy, that's a break for them, isn't it? They get a timeout from the defense, and they can map the play they have to make.
Just lean back and let it go.
53 seconds to go in this ball game. Iowa State down by 7. They face a 4th and long with a chance to tie the ball game if they can score a touchdown and kick the extra point.
Freshman quarterback in the game. He's got to get 12 yards. They're looking for a pass interference. They'll be throwing the ball on the outside, trying to get a corner to make a mistake.
He's already thrown 15 more passes today than he had all season, his first season. Throws underneath it, short, but Montgomery with a chance. He's got the first down and more. Down to the 3. Are you kidding?
Huge mistake out of Oklahoma State. They defended him. You got to pressure a quarterback that hasn't played. They defended. They went to prevent, cause Stick's defense, and they missed a tackle. They got the ball to their better player, and he made them miss a tackle.
And Oklahoma State will use another timeout. It looked like Nolan was under center and was getting ready to spike the ball to kill the clock. Now they don't have to. This has been a remarkable sequence. Deep in Oklahoma State territory. What a play by Montgomery. The pass far short of a first down. They're just saying this is up to you. Go get it. Justin Phillips missed a tackle. The rest was Montgomery as he fights inside the 5. It's going to be first and goal. They mark it just inside the 4. No timeouts left, but 42 seconds. You can do most anything.
You got to run the ball first. You got to give one shot at trying to get the ball in the end zone with the best player, David Montgomery.
Nolan for the end zone. Lazard. Boy, there was some contact there with Rodarius Williams. Not enough in the opinion of the officials to throw a flag.
He's got his hands all over him, but both are looking at the ball. You know, if you're looking at the ball, the official will give you a break on using your hands.
Lazard is their guy. There is no doubt about that. Montgomery is also an exceptional receiver. But don't rule him out on a pass. Fade for the end zone. Looked like both of them got it together. And now the officials are going to talk about it. A.J. Green went up with Marchie Murdoch.
This is going to be interesting.
Oh, boy. And it's interesting, they did not make a signal. Now.
And a touchback.
Now they say it's a touchback. So if it's reviewed, there has to be evidence to overturn it. That was not the best pass that Nolan has thrown today.
Trying to get the ball to the pylon. That's where you throw it on this fade route. Pretty good route, just underthrown. You've got a true freshman throwing that ball to win a championship. That ball's in the air 25 yards.
Ruling on the field of a touchback and an interception is under further review.
That's a touchback.
It looked like A.J. Green was the guy who made the catch, and then Marchie Murdoch reached in and tried to take it away.
He was in great position to make the play. He got his hands on it first. See what kind of replay official we got.
I think that's an interception.
Yeah, he made first contact with the ball.
He did.
He was actually the receiver in a lot better position to make the catch. Murdoch does a good job of making a play out of it. Man, what a big call for a team to have a chance to win a championship. Murdoch does a great job of just giving it an opportunity.
Yes, he did. Got to complete the act of the catch going to the ground, and it looked like he did that. Murdoch reached in and made the ball move after the fact.
They're both already on the ground.
I don't think there's any way they can overturn this, do you?
No. It's just unfortunate it would end this way.
Yeah.
Ball on the three-yard line. That's how these Big 12 teams live and die off the pass.
And Nolan's day ends with a disappointment after he was exceptional coming off the bench for the injured Kyle Kempt. But this is going to leave a hole in your heart if you're Iowa State.
This is a huge decision.
You have to have evidence,
sure,
to overturn this, and I don't think there's anything that you can look at that says they can do that. Of course, Marchie Murdoch arguing his case.
Here we go.
Here it is.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Interception and touchdown.
Not only upheld, but confirmed.
What a way to end the game.
Boy, it is. It's a great defensive play by Oklahoma State, something we haven't been able to say too many times, but A.J. Green did the job. That is his 4th interception and probably the biggest one of his life.
He'll get an extra sandwich on the plane on the way home, I'll tell you that. There's Mike Gundy again, done a great job along with Matt Campbell from Iowa State. This was a great game. Both have had excellent years. But a big game, big win for Oklahoma State on the road here in Ames.
They stay in the hunt for the championship game in the Big 12. Barely. And the magic may have run out at Iowa State as they suffered their 3rd conference loss. What a ball game.
A lot of seniors on this team from Iowa State. This is their last game here. That's hard. That's a hard one to stomach, to know it's the last time you'll play on this field.
Oklahoma State has owned this series. That is their 6th straight victory. And for the Cyclones, probably the toughest one to swallow. They had their chances.
91 points and 1,013 yards of offense. That's a fun day to watch a game.
The final 49-42 for Tommy Tuberville and Paul Carcaterra. This is Mike Patrick saying so long from Ames, Iowa.